Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watch a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and you may think that means that my destiny is lesser, is not fulfilled the way it could be. But I have to say, I'm pretty happy with the role that I've chosen. I'm sorry. I'm still not over that.
Yeah. So we are back in Lucha Underground Season 2.
Oh my God.
Coming off of having Curtis on the podcast for the first time to discuss the Season 2 premiere of Lucha Underground.
And booyaka, Daddy Ray is finally here.
Yeah,
Hail.
I usually try to do the non-match related segments last in these recaps, but I mean, yeah, Rey Mysterio is now in Lucha Underground.
Oh boy. Oh man.
He is going to be training El Dragon Azteca Jr. to take up the mantle after his father was murdered.
Dun dun. And from what I gather, he's probably going to be hanging out with Puma too, if the whole Puma actually knows about the Prophecy 2 thing says anything about what's going on. Don't know how the fuck that's related by any means. Still, I don't know where the fuck Puma falls into this whole like gang war thing, but I guess he's gonna get involved too.
Are the El Dragon Aztecas, were they part of the Jaguar tribe? Have we considered that like in the lore of Lucha Underground, the Jaguar tribe were like the ancient knowers of prophetic knowledge?
Maybe. And
because we determined that the Moth tribe was the rich tribe. So
this is true.
Are the Jaguars the prophets?
Yeah,
of the
Aztecs. A lot of times, you see like fictionalized, mysticalized depictions of ancient civilizations, and they are all so meticulous about the attributes of their tribes, their families, their groups, etc., really fitting with a theme based on what they've called on to represent their tribe, what they have chosen as a mascot. I am very much here for a version of like mystical history where ancient civilizations just fucking threw darts at a board to see what their theme was, and it had absolutely fuck all to do with their mascots.
Absolutely. Like just let him, like, just make it whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be.
And also the Jaguars apparently looked at Pumas and Dragons and were like, close enough. And we're like, yeah, they were actually a really progressive tribe. They were all here for animal tribe inclusivity.
The other Aztec tribes looked at the Jaguar tribe and said, "This is the future liberals want."
Jaguars and Pumas and Dragons living together, mass hysteria.
All right. So Ray is here, and El Dragon Azteca Jr. will be here soon.
Yes, the little baby dragon, with daddy issues. Anyway.
Yeah. So what else has happened in episode 1? Was King Cuerno is Phoenix tried to cash in his Gift of the Gods championship.
Yeah.
And Catrina, who runs the temple now, was like, "No, I think you're going to defend this first." And Phoenix was like, "Okay," but then he lost to King Cuerno.
That's still such insane booking. Like, they gave Phoenix this amazing fucking story about rising from the ashes from Mil Muerte's fucking murking him. He won the Gift of the Gods, and then he just got dropped by Cuerno before he could even get to Mil. What is that booking?
It's definitely not over. This is a honest. I'll go ahead and say is that, like, for the first third of this season, this is a big plot thread of this Cuerno Phoenix Mil stuff.
Phoenix chasing Mill, good.
Meanwhile, the menage a trois of brutality are back in the temple now. And they wanted their trios titles back now that Evalise's leg is no longer broken. And Catrina was also like, I think instead what you want to do is fight yourselves for a shot at Mil Muertes' title one-on-one.
Catrina's actually really passive-aggressive about that sort of thing. She's like sending emails with smiley faces of like, hey, alternate pitch for you. How about you all just fight each other and then the winner gets a shot at Mil? Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face.
So they had their match. Evilise won. And she put up a hell of a fight against Mil, even though the Disciples of Death kidnapped her friends.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, the Disciples of Death were like, hey, you can't interfere in this match. Only we can interfere in matches.
Yeah, only we're allowed to interfere.
Yes.
But Mil defeated Evilise, but then after the match, Pentagon and Puma came down to protect Evilise from a beatdown of the disciple from Mil and the Disciples, and in the process, Penta broke Mil's arm. So now Mil Muertes has this sick ass skull throne made of the skulls of actual dead people, and he just got to sit up there in a cast.
I know, dude. This season is off to such a fucking crackhead start. The champion is Mil Muertes. Catrina has taken over the temple. Dario's fucked off to just another temple. The champion, evil, scary zombie monster man, Mil Muertes, casually got his arm broken by a dude who was also a bit of a monster heel, but certainly not a Mil Muertes level. Vampiro's on antipsychotics.
Let's go ahead and round out episode 1 here of like, you know, we ended the first season with Vampiro as the Dark Master, and we cut to then the start of season 2, him in a psych ward.
I still want to know how he got from point A to point B.
I would also love to know, but he lies his way through his exit interview so he can leave, and he is allegedly on antipsychotics. But let's be honest, I don't really believe he's taken those.
He's at the dumbest psych ward imaginable, where they don't medicate him until after he leaves, and they give him the easiest to bullshit exit interview I have ever seen.
They were just like, do you feel violent anymore? And he just goes,
and he's
no.
like,
and they're like, all right, well,
they're like, okay, well, close enough. Take these. We're not going to monitor you at all. Just have fun out there, kiddo. Don't hurt yourself.
Hey, this is the state of medical aid in America.
Yes, I want to know.
Vampiro definitely doesn't get good benefits working at the temple, and this is the best he can afford on his insurance.
Yeah, this is like
this
the
fucking
place version of a psych ward.
Yeah,
I want to know. I'm interested to find out if Vampiro is actually on the medications, and that's why we're getting a whole new side of his weirdness. If he's off the medications and he's acting weird in a different way in order to like make people think he's on antipsychotics, like him just like even more shamelessly flirting with Matt Stryker. I'm here for Vampiro trying to like he doesn't want to take antipsychotics, but he has to like try to pretend he's on antipsychotics and what he thinks that would mean. Because it's the funniest and also least problematic. And also, I also could see a version of this where like they're not gonna actually have any kind of review. Like Vamp just is taking his antipsychotics, but also Ian Hodgkinson, the performer, is not thinking about the fact that his behavior would be affected on antipsychotics, and this is just him like exploring a new flavor of weird. Again, as a performer, just because he can. I can also see that being an explanation. We will find out. I hope it's option 2. I can also very much see it being option 3 of just he He's just trying out new character beats.
He's just trying new
and
bits.
Also his character is on antipsychotics, and those two facts are not remotely connected.
They're not even connected. They're
not even the same ballpark.
Bits. But he is very defensive about like talking about Pentagon and his connection to Pentagon Jr.
Yes.
He's like, stop
I
asking.
I wonder too if we're gonna get more backstory on why he's in the psych ward, or if it's just gonna be like, yeah, he was in a psych ward and we're just here to watch his inevitable redescent back into madness.
Mm-hmm. Then in the episode 2, Johnny Mundo defeated Killshot in a match, and after the match, he called his shot with Mill, and Cage was like, hold on there, buckaroo. You
scoreboard.
You have never even beaten me, so get the fuck back in line.
Yes, everyone wants a shot at Mill, especially now that his arm is broken. And and Cage is very indignant with Johnny for cutting.
Yep. Then we got a video and then a debut of PJ Black, the Dare Wolf, who then lost to Willie Mack.
Not the dire wolf, not the werewolf.
He's not a wolf, but a dire. He is
not a daredevil.
Dare wolf.
Yes, works on 3 levels.
Yep, he is a daredevil wolf. He beat up the roving pack of luchador NPCs that just exist in this universe and always desire to street fight.
And always have their masks on, even under motorcycle helmets, which is a totally normal thing that people do.
He beat him up in a motel parking lot, and then he did lose.
Normal show.
Yeah, and then he did lose to Willie Mack. But we will be seeing more of PJ Black this season.
I wonder if his skills will go above being able to beat up random street NPCs. We'll find out.
Speaking of beating up random street NPCs, we get the vignette for Cobra Moon.
Thunder Rosa, dig it. I mean Cobra Moon, dig it. I guess.
Yep. Hiss. We're gonna get tonight. We will get the debut of the very green Cobra Moon.
Yes.
Will be interesting to remind myself what she used to wrestle like. As I said last week.
Yeah. Austin warned me a couple times about how much he does not like Cobra Moon / Thunder Rosa in her Lucha Underground days. So I'm interested to see how it all stacks up.
I mean, like I said last week, like Cobra Moon turned me off to watching Thunder Rosa until she popped up on AEW. Because I was like, oh, that's Cobra Moon?
Ew.
No, thank you.
But she's good now.
She is. She is very good. And then in the main event of episode 2, we got Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. Could they coexist? Clearly not in the locker room, but they coexisted long enough to beat the Disciples of Death, which, I'll be honest, I forgot which mask was which. We had a whole big thing about it last time.
Oh, shit.
El Sinestro de la Muerte is purple. I think.
Okay.
Barrio Negro is
gold.
I think he's gold. And silver is Trace. Until we hear something differently, we're going to assume that's the case.
I think that's correct. It might be that Barrio Negro is silver and Trace is gold, but I also could be getting that wrong.
Could be.
We'll find out.
Yep. All right. And then, we already talked about it up top, Rey Mysterio is now here at the temple. Oh, yes. You mentioned Dario fucking off to another temple. Well, that's an interesting way to phrase it. As we get a series of vignettes with these random dudes who have only vaguely heard about Lucha Underground trying to find their way to the temple. And instead, Black Lotus leads them to Dario, who locks them in a room with Matanza, who murders them all.
Yes, it's so funny because it looked for a hot second at the end of last season / at the very beginning of this season that Dario kind of became the comparative face. Like all of a sudden I found myself like rooting for him to not get like too fucked over. And he certainly feels like a much more preferable boss to very mean, very evil Mil Muertes and Catrina. But also casual reminder that he gets a real kick out of feeding people to his HP Lovecraftian brother.
Yep. So tonight we'll be watching 2 episodes, season 3, The Hunt. This is episode 3, excuse me. The Hunt is on, and episode 4, Cero Miedo.
Oh my! Clearly referencing the two very obvious luchadors there. The Hunt obviously referring to Masquerita Sagrada, and Cero Miedo very, very clearly referring to Aerostar. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go, baby.
Yep. In space, no one can hear you be afraid.
Exactly. That's how the saying goes. Thank you.
Yep. So here I will read the Wikipedia episode descriptor for episode 3. Catrina enlists King Cuerno to help her destroy Phoenix. Cobra Moon in her debut faces off against Bengala. Jack Evans versus Drago. Just that's all it says.
Just that. I mean that'll be a banger. I know that's one going to be a banger. I hope Drago brings out the nunchucks. Yes, my favorite karate performing dragon.
Yep. That we've talked about. That's how he survived when all the other dragons failed.
Absolutely. That's important lore.
He learned how to transmogrify into a human and also learned nunchucks. Learned karate.
No other karate, just nunchucks.
Yeah. He learned nunchucks and how to transmogrify into a human. That is how he survived.
Life as a dragon in the modern world. Chapter 1, nunchucks.
Yeah, if you would like to watch along with us, you can. It's on Amazon. You can buy the seasons on Amazon Prime. It's easy peasy.
Or yar me mateys.
Yes, you can yar all you want. If yo ho ho in it is an option.
Indeed. The old internet archiverino. Now we're not encouraging that anyone do this. We're just simply saying
this time we're not encouraging it.
Saying as a fact that is a thing you can do. Do with that what you will.
Yep. But then we'll be back in the back half to discuss Lucha Underground season 2 episodes 3 and 4.
Hell yeah, brother.
And we are back. We have finished Lucha Underground season 2 episodes 3 and 4. The Hunt is on, and Cero Miedo.
The best show. We watch in this podcast, as always.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like my takeaway from these 2 episodes is that, like, more than any other time we have ever been in Lucha Underground, this was the most weird lore episode we've ever had on this show.
Oh yeah. Fucking
they really just threw so much shit at the beginning of season 2.
I made a note, or like I kind of made several notes that all just kind of rolled into the fact that like season 2 clearly is about to become like the Robert Rodriguez-iest of all of it. Like we're going full ham, full ridiculous, overcomplex bullshit, full weird, like tiny budget special practical effects,
like
the whole enchilada.
It feels like something has absolutely shifted in this show in terms of their general overarching priorities, narratively speaking, because we are gone our day. Season 1 is 95% a normal wrestling show with supernatural bullshit taken more seriously.
But also, a lot of this was so, like, obviously not all of it, but like so much of it was so like explicitly set up for in season 1 that I have to imagine this was the plan all along.
They had to like let the normies think they're going to be watching a normal, if a little bit more interest, if a little bit more, creatively shot wrestling show. Then there's season 2. You're like, here is all this lore shit, and
they're like, well, we gotta look
into it now.
Yeah, you're in too deep. Which we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. But we are going to still go in order, so we will not talk about any. But oh my god! Anyway, so we start episode 3 straight from the match this time. No pre-match video.
Man, what you pointed out last time about there not being a musical artist of the week, it really stuck out to me here. Like, we're just starting with some like generic, non-diegetic, edgy electric guitar riffs because hater of fun Catrina can't let like live music play in her super evil, super dark temple. Okay, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Lame ass motherfucker.
Yeah, the only thing I noted from their opening, from Stryker and Vampiro's opening spiel here, was when Stryker said Prince Puma isn't the only cat in the lucha jungle. It's like, thanks, man.
What? Who the fuck else is he referring? Oh, Bengala.
He's talking about Bengala.
I did notice. I did see. Vamp started off this episode going, "This is not a test." Which, Vamp. Every day I have to listen to your commentary is in fact a test.
It's a little bit of a test for us here.
Yeah, mentally, But yes, don't change the channel. It is indeed Lucha Underground. Vampiro also says, Matt, I'm out of my mind tonight. Vamp continues to be extremely bad at pretending to be on meds.
Yep. But we just open up with our first match of the evening, Bengala versus Cobra Moon.
Snake Lady.
I wrote, this is some animal face-off shit now that I think about it.
I also noticed that Cobra Moon wears ostrich feathers, which, like, honestly, that makes about just as much sense as anything else around here, like, pumas and the jaguar tribe, God, it is like, immediately, this gimmick is so fucking weird to see, knowing that Thunder Rosa is under this mask, because it's so good. She's literally just doing the I'm a slithery snake.
No, this match is better than I remember her being, but I also can see immediately, like, oh, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
We're doing a gimmick here, and it's kind of weird.
It's a little weird. She's got to flick out the tongue a bunch, like she's performing air cunnilingus. Like, it's a whole... She
does, like, little wah-wah-wahs?
Yeah, she's got to, she's, like, slithering seductively around the mat.
Oh, she's gonna lean in hard to the slithering seductress angle of this character.
Oh, I bet. Oh, it's just so weird because this is not the Thunder Rosa that I know.
No,
we're a long ways away from Jacksonville, Florida, ladies and gents. To your point, yeah, she's kind of green. Her suit. Her snake green,
and not just the suit.
Matches. Yeah, definitely matches where she's at currently as a wrestler at this point in time. Bengala's clearly working slower than he
is. Like Bengala has to slow down.
Yeah, like she's not bad. There's clearly talent there, but like she's also not like great.
No.
And fucking Stryker tries to call her the epitome of the evolution of Lucha Libre, which literally how she is doing the most basic ass Lucha Libre shit I've seen.
I mean, this could still technically be true because evolution is not a singular, straight and linear line. It is in fact a branching path of branches. That really, that's the best. Whatever.
What branch is she on? The one where you incorporate.
She's on the snake branch.
A lot of aesthetic tongue flicking as a technique.
As snake-based Lucha Libre, this is the pinnacle.
This is
at this moment in time.
I have never seen such snake-like Lucha Libre before, or any snake-like Lucha Libre. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, she did some cool shit. Like, when
Yeah.
Bengala was on the outside, she did a diving head scissors over the top rope. I was like, that's pretty cool. Bengala, though, he had my spot of the match where he did flying headbutts. I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Like instead of like as a running strike, he just whams his head in there.
Yeah, it's like it's not a spear, but it's definitely got that kind of like momentum to it. It was cool to see. Bengala, despite being slightly hamstrung by, I guess, known sandbagger Cobra Moon.
Well, she's not known sandbagger yet.
Yeah, well, you know. He still manages to get some cool spots in.
Yeah. There was a moment where Bengala was trying to get Cobra Moon in a suplex, and she wrapped her legs around him to stop, which is a normal counter for a suplex. But I really was.
I've actually never seen that really before.
I have it.
Okay.
It's like maybe they're not as explicitly about like that's what they're doing, but like that's the idea. That's the kayfabe idea. When they stop a suplex like that, is that you're wrapping your legs to like plant to the ground. And I was honestly shocked that Stryker and Vampiro did not make the snake connection to her doing that, because that was my first thought. Is like, look at her like a snake. And they didn't even go for
what she's going for.
Yeah.
And Bengala, supposed veteran of the industry, sees this. He's like, what?
Whoa. Okay. So the finish of the match is Cobra Moon gets in the snake sleeper, which is a dragon sleeper. Basically it is like basically you're like putting someone's head under your armpit is the best way I can describe.
Yeah. You gotta stank them out, you know?
Yeah. But you're like, squeezing their head and neck under your arm. And Bengala gets up like he's going to break out of the hold, and he's reaching for the ropes, and then he falls back down, and she locks it in fully, and he taps out.
Well, okay, I did take note of the fact that him tapping out is him like lightly clawing at her arm.
He does claw at her arm
because he's a tiger. Okay, dude. Whatever. Oh my god. Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. It was goofy. Cobra Moon is here. She will be here. She will have snake friends eventually, but now,
where the fuck is my Luchasaurus?
It's gonna be a while.
No,
he's a late addition to the show. No. It's gonna be a while before we get the Luchasaurus.
That's unfortunate. Okay. We cut to Catrina's office, and we just see the shot of Catrina, who senses somebody's presence, and is basically like, my pussy is dripping.
Which should have been a good hint for it's Phoenix. And Phoenix is not here for the flirting.
Catrina clearly needs to PR clearly needs to have a serious convo with her about sexual harassment and power dynamics. Because she's already
You think Lucha Underground has HR?
PR? HR. Fuck, I'm an idiot. HR.
You think they got HR at the temple?
Well, ghost HR. I don't know. Someone's got to step in. Because Catrina looks like she's just trying to bonk all of her employees constantly.
Catrina is absolutely trying to see how many wrestlers she can have sexual tension with.
Yeah. And everyone's like, I'm uncomfy. Bad touch. Please stop this, please.
Like, I don't think there's any wrestler she's interacted with backstage that didn't feel like she wanted to fuck them.
Oh, without a doubt. Every single the sexual tension between her and Ivelisse is off the fucking charts. Let me tell you.
It is very much so.
Oh my God.
But back to Phoenix, her actual ex-boyfriend here.
Yes.
He's like, I want Cuerno. I want to fight him. Want my belt back. And she goes, are you sure? Because even 1,000 lives runs out eventually. Which, how many lives is he at right now, actually? What's his count?
How do you keep track? Does he have a diary?
Does he keep track of how many times he's died? Does he remember every single time he's died?
Does he just that good at keeping a mental count? If you're gonna fucking lore dump at us, show, at least answer the important logistical questions. Like, Jesus Christ.
Again, forever love that like Phoenix, how much Phoenix is supposed to be a literal Phoenix is kind of always a little bit in flux, but Catrina always plays it literally.
She leans in. I want to believe that actually, no, he's not remotely a Phoenix. And every time
thinks this is when all you have is a hammer, a situation where like she has no ability to conceive that any of these people are just normal people.
And he's like, I'm actually not. Shh, shut up, my pet. Go, please come fuck me again. No, but you really need to shh. Yeah, so it's got to be something like that, right? No. So he's like, I want Cuerno, and she's like, yeah, okay, fine,
good luck. But he swears to destroy Cuerno, Mill, and Catrina before his lives run out.
Yeah,
and then a millennia ago,
space backstory.
Go. Okay.
Wait, Aerostar is over 1,000 years old. Hold the fuck up.
I mean, from a certain point of view, I suppose that could be true because, as we're about to get to here, because, okay, so first we see this little girl in like tribal gear making a symbol next to a campfire, presumably to like, I don't know, summon Aerostar or something. Because then a male adult chieftain is like, the 7 tribes are at war and many lives have been lost, but we must be united in order to stop what is coming. And he summons the gods in the form of a man, Aerostar, who is not in, he's still dressed like normal Aerostar, which is like vaguely
costume.
Which for people who don't know, it looks vaguely like someone did Luchador Iron Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he is apparently doing this in the what would 1,000 years ago be? The mid 11th century. He is dressed like this. And then
hasn't changed his clothes in a whole ass millennium.
Well, again, we're about to get to that. Is that the chieftain is like, I have seen the prophecy, and the prophecy states the gods will not return for 1,000 years. So Aerostar is like, so I must go to them. And so he rockets off into the fucking future. He is a time traveler. Yeah, he is a time traveled 1,000 years to the future.
I just thought he was a spaceman with space shorts.
Well, he is both space. He is space and time. He time traveled 1,000 years to the future.
Christ.
And then the little girl voice pops back up, and she's like, he is going back to try to unite the tribes, but I don't think it's possible.
She's like, have fun on your suicide mission, dipshit.
So we now get that the ancient Aztec tribes must be united to stop the end of the world, and Aerostar is a time traveler from the 11th century here to ensure that the tribes can be united once more.
Eternal fucking mid-Carter Aerostar is like apparently now the man whomst will save all of time. That's a thing. He better get some main event spots, bucko. Also, I fucking love the goofy ass VFX implying that Aerostar is blasting off. Like, we get this kind of like zoom in that's all like, oh,
and then they shoot some sprinklers at the fire, the campfire.
Yeah, there's some sparklers. Yeah, they don't even emanate. So like, he gathers power at his like fucking Iron Man arc reactor core, and then we zoom into him looking up, and then a shot away from him, we see a bunch of just like sparkler sparks popping off toward the campfire with no actual Aerostar in sight. God, I love Robert Rodriguez joints, dude. This is
phenomenal.
My God.
This is incredible. And we're just getting started tonight.
Man, if some goofy ass like CGI doesn't show up at some point in the show, I will be mildly disappointed. I need all of the Rob Rod I need all of the Rob Rod trademarks to show up here to make it feel, like a real proper thing. Dear God. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So
we
time traveler Aerostar, do we you?
And we cut straight from that to Cuerno furiously doing bicep curls in the locker room.
Yeah, we're really a fan of the like workout room shots this season already, it seems.
Yeah,
and who should poof in but Catrina?
She is here. She's like, you didn't destroy the man. You took the belt.
He's like, bitch, I did what you told me to. I followed the letter of the contract exactly.
Yep, he did follow the letter, not the spirit. That's on her, isn't it?
Yeah, no, she needs to be more specific. Again, you are now a small business owner, Catrina. Fucking act like it. Mm-hmm. God.
So Cuerno is like, I did what you told me to do. I protected your wounded little Mil Muertes. And she's like, now, hold on. I want you to make sure that you know that even injured, Mil Muertes could kick your ass. Want to make sure that's clear.
She's dick riding, and the worst thing that you can do is dick riding without a license.
So Catrina, to stop Cuerno from potentially trying to target Mil, because oops, you gave the big game hunter the belt that lets him challenge for the title whenever he wants.
And just kind of like honor systemed him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're not going to like use this, right? Nah, don't worry about it.
Like, I also want to know what her long-term plan for this belt is. Like, does she think he will just keep it forever? Does she think that she can manufacture it over to Mil himself or one of the disciples? How does she think that's going to stop it?
As I understood it, like, he would cash in and lay down for her, and then the coin hunt would start anew. Or lay down for Mil. That's how I assumed it would go. Based on their conversation in episode 1 or whatever. But I don't know,
that's probably what she's supposed to be. But then that does also make this a little confusing. Like, why is she concerned about him hunting Mil now if he's just gonna lay down? Why doesn't she trust Cuerno
because
anymore?
She's a fucking paranoid ass ghost lady who's got evil machinations. I feel like a bit of paranoia, like I feel like a bit of mistrust is like comes with the territory with that.
That's fair. But she decides to tempt Cuerno with a better hunt.
Yeah, she's like, I have a better hunt for you. You're going to fucking murderize Phoenix, which kind of read to me as like, all right, enough fighting Phoenix. Instead, go fight Phoenix.
Right, but she did put him in a last luchador standing match this time. Yes. And she's like, you don't even have to put your title on the line. Just fucking kill him.
Yep. He's so desperate to fight you, he'll take whatever.
And then he goes, the hunt is on.
Okay. Well, he goes, the hunt, and then like fucking sniffs Catrina as if picking up Phoenix's scent off of her, as if he knows they had like raucous sex backstage. And then he's like, the hunt is on. God, this dialogue, dude, it's so fucking corny and on the nose. How do these people make it work so well? Oh my God.
I love it. So we get, and Catrina obviously pops away as she does.
And then
we get to the second match of the show, Jack Evans versus Drago.
Yes. The Evie boy who claims to have invented Luchador.
And then don't worry, tonight he's got a new moniker to also bring up.
Oh yeah, no, I have a note about that. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I honestly didn't have a ton of notes for this match. It was because because the story is the after the match, not the match. I was kind of like, all right, this is fine. This is a fun match.
I just have commentary quotes for this one.
Proceed.
Okay, so early on in the match, I think Vampiro says of Jack Evans, he's a human video game. It just stops there. Not he's a human video game character. He's a human video game.
Can you play him in the machine that is Cage?
Cage. You drop a coin into the Cage machine and you can play Jack Evans the video game. Yeah.
Yep.
I think Stryker says something about Both guys had great years in Lucha Underground last year, as if Evans did not show up with like 10 episodes left, but go off.
But I mean, he did win one of the medallions, so
he did.
You could argue he had a good year.
He had a good year, but it was like a quarter of a year. He was 10 weeks in. That he showed up super fucking late, but sure, I guess. Okay. This one, I need you to help me with a little bit.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
So, I can't remember. I think it was Stryker and Vamp were comparing how Jack Evans moves to breakdancing, and Stryker says it looks like Grandmaster Flash of the Furious 5 got Marley Marled, which I don't even know if I'm saying that last part right.
I don't know what the fuck. Oh my god. Okay, you were because Marley Marlowe is a DJ from the 80s. So that's correct.
Okay. And after like a 5-second pause, Vampiro just goes, I know you had to study to get that one. I have to study to understand what the fuck he's saying. So yeah, I bet he goddamn did.
Yeah, all right. I Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, I did kind of know who that is. They're also a hip hop group from the 80s.
Sure.
The 80s hip hop references are what Matt Stryker decided to go with here.
Stryker be like, how do you do, fellow kids?
I don't know I don't know what it means that they got Marley Marled. Or whatever he said. I don't know what that means. I just know those are two people from the 80s in the hip hop scene.
Sure. Either way, it was an insane line to listen to, and I was like, what the fuck was what tongues did Matt Stryker just speak to me over the commentary booth?
Okay. I will say this was something I took a note of because classic Jack Evans shit here is when he got Drago in the corner and he does a back handspring into an eye gouge.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I didn't catch that part, but that is the kind of bastard man move that Jack Evans would happily engage in. Also, there's this part where it's basically like Stryker's like Jack Evans gets Drago down like a submission hold looking thing, and Stryker's basically like, looks like he's going for a submission hold, and he's biting Drago's thumb.
Oh yeah, when Jack Evans bites Drago's hand to make him let go, and the huge boos when he does.
Oh, that. Was it Drago getting Evans into a submission?
Evans bit Drago in the hand.
I got you now. But yeah, eventually Evans gets the pin on Drago. Drago gets his foot on the rope.
Yeah, okay, this was actually cool. This was actually a cool spot.
Was it?
I thought so. Is Drago goes for like his armbar thing. Jack rolls up Drago, and then they're near the ropes. And so what Jack Evans does is he flips himself over Drago for additional leverage. So like his back is pushing down on Drago's legs in a roll-up pin. But Jack Evans also got his feet on the ropes for leverage.
So, okay, I got that mixed up too. I thought that was Drago's feet on the ropes. Okay.
No, it's Jack.
All right. Okay.
Jack did a little underhanded maneuver to win. A little bit of
cheating, and the ref doesn't see it. So Jack Evans gets the pin, and everyone's booing. Jack dashes out of ring, grabs a microphone, stands up on the commentary desk, and is like, "Hey, get the fuck out of my way, you jabronis!" And he basically, as I wrote, Evans gets up to cut a douchey promo because that's pretty much what it was. I mean,
yeah, he says he is not just the winner of the match, but he is also the Dragon Slayer.
Yes, he calls himself the Dragon Slayer. Bryan Danielson would like to know your location. And then I had a thought of a great fucking match, a tag match, Drago and Danielson versus Evans and Daniel Garcia. That would be sick.
The Dragon versus the Dragon and the Dragon Slayer. Can they coexist?
Well, it's two. The two dragons, Danielson and Drago, the two dragons versus the two Dragon Slayers, Evans and Daniel Garcia.
I missed that.
Yeah. So Jack Evans also like says something in Spanish about like I'm better than all of you or whatever.
Big boobs. Get the fuck out.
He knows how to get that.
And now we get to a vignette out on the ranch because it is a Tejano video. I honestly, this video felt like an attempt to like reset his whole character. Like,
did it?
Yes, this felt like the babyface turn video because it opens with him
kind of a babyface.
It was, but you had that undercurrent of like, I hate all of you, but I love Mexico. We talked about. It was a weird transition to be the babyface in that like Pride of Mexico feud.
Sure.
And then they replay the part where he's like, I am proud to be Mexican. And they cut out all the parts where he's like a jack.
They cut out the part where he's like, and fuck all of you morons.
Yeah.
Don't it doesn't exist. Don't think about it.
And I made a funny note. He's like, I've been given nothing in life, despite being in a lucha family. He does acknowledge that his dad was a luchador, a successful luchador, but he's like, I have been given nothing in life. I have earned everything.
I am not
hold
a Nepo
myself
baby.
up by
I am
my
not a
fucking
Nepo
bootstraps.
baby. I'm not a Nepo baby. Stop saying I am.
Now he breaks apart a thing of wood with his bare hands, and then it gets crazier because he starts transitioning talking about how Chavo is a piece of shit. Fair.
Yes.
But it cuts to now him being in a bar, and guess who would show up? The roving NPC luchadors. They show up at the bar just to start a bar fight.
And okay, I couldn't help but notice the fact that like the woman bartending has a temple shirt. So is this a bar run by like the temple itself?
She's just a mark.
Is she a plant? Is she a mark?
I'll tell you, she's definitely a mark because in the middle of the bar fight, she pulls out Tejano's fucking bull rope and just hands it to him.
Bullwhip waiting behind the bar for him just in case, I guess.
That's why I think she's a fucking mark. And so, then my next note after that is despite beating up 3 people at the bar and breaking glasses, because after the fight, he's like, yeah, give me another. She gives him a drink, he drinks it, and then smashes the glass against the bar. And he's like, despite all of that shit, he's not kicked out. So clearly she's a fucking mark.
You know what? That is fair. That is fair. So the Smarkiest of Smarks runs this bar that he's a regular of. It's a whole thing. God damn it, Tejano's back. Okay, let's see if I care about
back.
More
we are kind of here to like, he is now a baby face, and I think he stays that for quite some time.
Okay, well, let's see if I give more of a shit about him this time.
The only part I really enjoyed was the fact that the NPC luchadors are back once again.
Yeah, you gotta. That's just. I feel like that's gonna be a decent amount of promos this time. It's just the roving band of NPCs.
It is. Season 1 only really had like Cage when he showed up in the trailer park and beat the fuck out of
I love this development. I would pay such good
now
money.
They're like every single character vignette has to involve you fighting NPC luchadors.
Dude, give me an open world Lucha Underground game where I can just go around beating up random ass mass luchadors on the street using
that would have been so sick.
That would be so fucking sick. Yeah. All right. Another promo time. This
Prince
time
Puma is staring in the bathroom mirror sadly. Yeah. He's like, he fumbles with his rosary, which is important for how Catrina starts this conversation, which don't worry, I wrote full word for word because I thought it was insane.
It very much was.
So she's like, who do you pray to? God?
I feel like Ghost HR also needs to have a convo with her about religious sensitivity in the workplace.
She's a piece of shit. Well, okay. You want to talk about sensitivity? What comes after she says that is, I heard Conan praying while the life drained from him in that casket.
Yeah, okay.
You know what his last words were? Okay, I will finish it. I'll come back to that. But you were saying?
I guess the caskets that you get dumped into are vampire. They're vampire caskets. If his life is just
you just suffocate in the you suffocate to death in the caskets.
Oh shit! I forgot suffocation's a thing. That would also make sense. Yeah. Also, somehow Catrina knows Conan's last words, despite the fact that he was locked inside of a casket. How? I don't know.
Ghosty powers. That's sexy ghost powers. That's how she knows.
Yeah.
So she goes, do you know what his last words were? Forgive me. And I wonder, was he asking God for forgiveness for the wicked life he led, or for failing you so miserably?
Oh my God. She's just stirring shit.
She is stirring shit. She is uncomfortably touching Puma all over his upper body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Catrina says she can't wait to see what Puma does next week with Pentagon Jr. And she's like, who knows? Maybe you'll make a sacrifice to your master. And Puma angrily walks out of the bathroom. And
obviously Puma is the man from whom Mil won the belt, but this is nothing to do with Mil. Why the fuck is she here to just comment on his match with Penta?
I mean, Puma did stop Mil from continuing to beat up Ivelisse. So there is punishment must be met out. But as Puma walks off, we get a zoom in on Catrina, and she smirks and is like, God rest his soul.
Sure.
She is really leaning in. This is the first on-screen confirmation we have that Conan is dead. I obviously talked about it because I already have future knowledge for how this shit works. But this is the on-screen confirmation that he died. He was done. He died when they threw him in the casket.
The stakes do be raising this time around. That explicitly confirmed. If you didn't read the fucking comic books or whatever that told you how Big Rick got murked.
Yeah, if you couldn't get the obvious, if you hadn't been watching all season and thus couldn't put together the symbolism of getting put in the casket, when Mil Muertes lost the casket match, well, okay, now we got to make sure you understand that Conan died.
I appreciate it. It's keep people informed.
So when we get to our main event of episode 3, Phoenix and King Cuerno.
Yes. Stryker says of Phoenix that Phoenix is the first guy to show any modicum of vulnerability to Mil Muertes, which sounds like Stryker is out here just admitting that Mil spent the first half of season 1 basically being a jobber until he got revived and murderized Phoenix.
Yeah, they're absolutely kind of quietly retconning how the first half of the season went for Mil Muertes. They're absolutely trying to play it off as no one can stop this guy or even come close except for Phoenix.
Okay.
For
he phrased somehow that so poorly.
He did. The way you phrase it makes it sound like Phoenix showed vulnerability to Mil Muertes.
Yeah, because then he goes
Mil Muertes show vulnerability.
Because that's what I thought he meant at first, and I'm like, oh wow, they're just leaning in. Well, no, I thought he meant the Mil spent the first half of season 1 jobbing to everyone. But no, fucking
they're playing it as Phoenix
this is why Catrina
has Mil's number.
Yeah, this is why Catrina wants to keep him at bay, and I'm like, oh, Stryker's not using his words too good again. Okay.
Yeah. My note for here is in the most fun instance of the commentary doesn't see backstage at all. They see that this is Phoenix versus King Cuerno, and Stryker is indignant that this is a non-title match. He doesn't understand why. And Vampiro tries to be like, well, it's last luchador standing, as if those are mutually exclusive.
Yes. Well, okay. Vamp's gonna say dumb shit. I feel like Stryker, even if he can't see backstage, should just realize at this point who his new boss is, and that her entire philosophy seems to be no, fuck you. And I don't know why he would be at all surprised by this particular turn of events. But yeah. So also before the match starts, we get a little like flash for merch, and man, now I want a Lucha Underground snapback. That shit looks snazzy.
Yeah.
So we start the match proper.
Please tell me you're about to say the commentary note that
Yep.
I also have.
Yep.
Striker
Striker goes, "Hey Vamp, have you been in a lot of last luchador standing matches?" And Vampiro goes, "When I was just married and I didn't do too good, but never in the ring." What? What? Did Vampiro? See, at first that read to me like as an "I hate my wife" joke. But then I thought about it a little more, and I'm like, wait, did Vamp just admit to being domestically abused?
No, I mean, no,
right now?
No, I took that to mean like standard, like a fight, like an argument with the wife. His last luchador standing matches were arguments with the wife, and you always lose the arguments with a woman. You know that more boomer postery than what you think.
Oh my god!
Thinking.
When I was just married.
Only when I was married, I wasn't good at it.
I didn't do too good, brother.
No.
I literally yelled.
Oh my god!
I startled my fellow supervisor at work today because I watched that and I literally yelled, "What?"
Thank you, Vampiro. You've done it again.
Thank you, Vampiro.
All right. My first note for this match was fucking ass last man standing pacing. I hate it.
Oh my god.
I have almost certainly bitched about last man standing matches before on this podcast. Haven't I? I mean, I do it all the time in real life, pretty much every time a last man standing match happens. So maybe that's my confusion. But here's the thing about last man standing matches and why I hate them is the match by design is hit a move, stand there and let the ref count to see if the guy stays down, hit a move, wait until the ref, stand there and wait. And for the pacing of last man standing matches suck.
To be fair, I don't think it was like that egregious. I don't think it's as egregious as you're making it out to sound here. But I think in this one, I think Cuerno does a good job of playing off the downtime. But this happened. But this is a recurring issue in last man standing matches that I complain about all the time. I think it did contribute to my overall feeling about this match, which is that it was kind of underwhelming overall. Like, I hear last man standing and I'm like, oh, bloody affair. We're gonna fucking fight until one of us just goddamn die. But it
feels like it should.
But then it was just kind of like a standard match, but then like, yeah, the ref would just sometimes count to see how long.
Okay. I guess I haven't explained what the rules are, but in a last man standing match or last luchador standing match you can't win. The only way to win the match is to incapacitate your opponent to such a point where they cannot answer a 10 count of the referee. It's kind of boxing rules. Like the non-KO wins in boxing is knock them down for 10 seconds. And I've already complained, but like the pace, it's a pacing issue of like, you are encouraged, and thus all LMS matches are structured such that it's like hit a move or a couple of moves, and then you just kind of stand there and see if the ref counts it to 10. And they, of course, don't, because you just did some regular ass moves.
Yeah. Okay, that's the thing, is like, this really tested my kind of headcanon that I have for like in kayfabe logic, because like I think about like, because Phoenix and Cuerno seem to be going down for like 10 count near falls weirdly easily.
All right, I think that what you're supposed to take from that is kind of like, because they know that it's a 10-second thing,
yes,
then they are not going to treat it with the same level of urgency.
Yeah, that's kind of my head
like when you're getting pinned and they are on top of you, and you know if you do not kick out in the next 3 seconds you'll lose. It's like, okay, bam, gotta go. Meanwhile, when it's 10 seconds, you know you have time to like not get up immediately.
Yeah, no, well that is kind of my headcanon, is like it's a strategy in wrestling that that like psychologically you stay down for as long as you can before getting counted out in order to maximize rest between spots. So like but also like even with that in mind, this still kind of makes especially like it still kind of makes it especially egregious when like they go down for long times for moves that they shouldn't, and then they still lie there while their opponent is clearly like setting up for something that they, if they weren't like super knocked out, they should just, you know, try to move out of the way of.
I feel like the really egregious element is like the person standing there and like thinking like this is gonna be it. Like, why do you believe that? Like,
just keep fucking attacking. Like, why?
Like, I understand that like attacking, like if you attack them in the middle of the count, that resets the count. But like,
it does.
You can't.
Well.
Yes, that's
like,
the idea.
But if they're down, then just keep. Even if it resets the count, just ensure they're gonna stay down. It's gonna save you time.
Like why hit like one punch and be like, well, that's it.
This match is literally the like epitome of not following work smarter, not harder. Oh God.
So,
Stryker says something about the adrenaline that gets you pumping, or that gets pumping through you during matches like these. And as soon as he said adrenaline, I hate
adrenaline
that
in Phoenix's soul.
Yeah, my mind immediately started.
Cody Rhodes.
I immediately started singing Kingdom to myself. God fucking damn it. Adrenaline. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm so brain broken by wrestling, dude.
Now, Cuerno does try to start to do non-moves to regular moves to Phoenix.
Yeah.
In that he throws him to the outside. Obviously, these matches are no DQ. So he throws him into the ring post. He like throws him into the fan chairs, the wooden chairs that the fans sit in. And it did. Yeah. There was a cool visual of Phoenix crumpled in the chairs and Cuerno stood atop the chairs watching him get counted out.
Yeah, I didn't like super notice it, but like there were some cool like little moments cinematography wise in the match that broadly I was like, oh hey, okay.
And then
it adds to the gravitas, but like goddamn.
Yeah, so then Cuerno whips Phoenix into the guardrail wall too. Throwing him all over the ring. Cuerno gets Phoenix back in the ring, and they like, and Phoenix starts hitting all his big moves. Like what Phoenix, the closest count we get the whole match is Phoenix has Cuerno on the outside, and he does his diving corkscrew. And Cuerno
that was sick. I love the diving corkscrew, dude. Holy shit.
Made a note of Matt Stryker. With Valentine's Day coming up, there's no love lost between these luchadors.
I did notice that.
Matt, which also was blatantly ADR'd because that corresponds to when this episode aired, not when it was taped. It was taped in November.
Oh no, the illusion. The illusion is broken. No.
All right.
Yes.
Cool move is Phoenix is on the top rope. Cuerno pushes him off, and then Cuerno goes for the arrow from the depths of hell around the ring post.
Yes. I think it was around this point that Vampiro goes, Hawkeye's got nothing on King Cuerno.
Yeah, they did say that because it's the arrow.
Thank you.
So the match quickly gets to its conclusion here. As Cuerno grabs a ladder and he hits Phoenix with it. And then he leans the ladder up against Catrina's office. And he starts climbing, but then he starts to get down and he asks the referee to stop counting.
Yes.
And then Cuerno gets under the ring and grabs the table. I make a note. Want to point out that Cuerno would have 100% won the match by now if he hadn't stopped the referee.
Seriously, I don't. Oh god.
Well, okay, I get in this very specific instance why he did that because Catrina was like, "I want you to kill him," so he's setting up a spot where he's gonna absolutely annihilate Phoenix.
He's like, yeah, but he's also an idiot.
Yeah, Phoenix staggers up and Cuerno like tries to German suplex him through the table. Would have been crazy. But Phoenix fights out of it. Phoenix gets Phoenix starts climbing the ladder and gets all the way up to the office roof. Cuerno starts to follow after him. Phoenix kicks Cuerno away, and the ladder falls, and Cuerno is sandwiched through the table and the ladder.
That was actually a really sick spot. I've never seen a spot like that before. That was actually sick as fuck. That was like, okay, we actually ended the match on a pretty cool note. Yeah, like, of course, Cuerno's gonna be dead after that.
Yep, and that does put Cuerno down, and Phoenix wins and celebrates on Catrina's roof. It is a match that is designed to be spot. And they had one big spot, and they did hit it, and it was really cool. But everything else,
that's about it. Yeah.
Nope.
Else is kind of fucking.
Yeah. So after the match, Phoenix is just up on the roof, and Mil Muertes stands from his throne and stares down Phoenix as we cut to as credits roll. But then we get the post-credit scene, and holy shit.
Oh,
David,
my God.
I am so excited to finally talk about this. So we watch a woman put in her key card and down this like secretive hallway. We are in a police station, and Captain Vasquez is in her. This woman is Captain Vasquez, and she's talking to Cortez Castro, who has been an undercover cop the entire time. Cortez Castro is a fake name for an undercover cop.
Retcon.
This is, I don't think it's a I guess it's a Is it a retcon if it doesn't clash with any previously established information about Cortez Castro?
I see. The previous established information is that he's just an evil street fighter bastard.
Yeah, but that being a fake persona to get him into the temple is not.
But it's more like, was this always the plan? Yeah, so I guess he's a fucking cop, like police informant.
Yeah, he uses his real name here they say Reyes is his real name, which is his IRL real name as well. So Cortez gives her the deets about Catrina, and he's like, yeah, I'm tight with the crew. We got an open invitation to the temple. And even we were even kind of tight with Blue Demon Jr., even though he kind of retired to Miami. So there's the canonical explanation for where Blue Demon goes for the rest of the show. Is he's
retired.
Not dead,
he's just retired.
Yeah. And Vasquez like, I don't give a shit about the crew. Stop telling me about the fucking crew.
Vasquez, much like my girlfriend, thinks wrestling is fucking stupid.
She's like, she just wants to know where Dario Cueto is. And Cortez is like, I don't know, man. It's been 6 months. Nobody's seen him. I wanted to bring him in when he murdered Bale, but you didn't let me do that.
Yeah. Oh.
And Vasquez is like, this is a lot bigger than some street thug getting killed. But she's like,
frankly, you're useless, but also you're in too deep. So
in too deep, so I can't just pull you off of this case. That would be suspicious. I'm bringing in a new guy. And who walks in but Joey fucking Ryan?
Yes. Okay.
So let's pause our second.
To be had.
So Joey Ryan, I will get more into the gimmick of Joey Ryan because he also has a match in episode 4. So I will save that element of it for then. But Joey Ryan was a longtime wrestler on the Southern California indie scene. So of course he shows up in Lucha Underground. It was a SoCal indie.
As an undercover cop.
So Joey Ryan, I'm just going to read this off to you. I've had to sit on this for a couple of years. I know it's coming. This is great. So during the Speaking Out movement of June 2020, basically, that was, if you don't know, that was Me Too, but wrestling specific.
Yes.
Let's just go ahead and read the Wikipedia article about it. I think that is the best way to just cover the information we need here. In June 2020, at least 17 women accused Joey Ryan of sexual assault and harassment. After initial accusations surfaced, Joey Ryan posted a lengthy message on his Twitter account apologizing for invading people's personal space. After that message was posted, a number of women posted on Twitter allegations of misconduct. Wrestlers Joey Janela and Ryan Nemeth, who is a former roommate of Joey Ryan, who previously worked for Joey Ryan at Bar Wrestling, have spoken against him. Bar Wrestling's venue, Bootleg Theater, ended their relationship with the company due to the allegations. Oh, Bar Wrestling is Joey Ryan's personal, he owned and operated Bar Wrestling. As a SoCal indie. Several people told the SoCal Uncensored website the promotion has ceased operations. On June 23rd, 2020, Impact Wrestling announced they canceled his contract as a result of the allegations. The irony of that, by the way, is that in Impact Wrestling, he was running a gimmick where he was like spoofing cancel culture. I believe they even called themselves cancel culture.
Oh my God. Impact.
As a stable. Yeah,
Impact.
Sucked. Anyway, he was also edited out of every episode of Being the Elite in which he appeared because he was tight friends with the Elite. He, in fact, had the first big feud, if you want to call All In, the first show of AEW. It's not quite accurate, but, it's the precursor. Yeah. He had an entire feud with Hangman Adam Page over literal dick size comparisons.
What the fuck?
Like, they literally argued over who had a bigger cock. Like, that was the entire basis of the storyline.
Hangman, no.
He ain't called the Hung Man for nothing.
Oh, my God, no.
Anyway, Joey Ryan addressed the allegations in an hour-long video posted on July 18th, 2020. He has denied nearly every accusation against him, showing messages between himself and the women which he says shows evidence to dispute the claims made. On September 24th, Joey Ryan filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against 3 of his accusers for defamation, in which he has stated he has lost upwards of $20,000 a month. The lawsuit included loss of followers on social media, loss of revenue from various projects, merchandise, wrestling, and various other revenue streams, and a multi-million-dollar monetary relief. The lawsuit also states that Joey Ryan wants defamatory statements retracted and or deleted. He filed another lawsuit in October suing Impact Wrestling for $10 million for allegedly breaching his contract for firing him after the allegations were made against him. Joey Ryan won a default judgment against one of his accusers on January 20th, 2021, but a judge dismissed the lawsuit involving all 3 accusers without prejudice in February due to lax service, meaning Joey Ryan retains the right to file against them again. However, Joey Ryan dropped some of the lawsuits and stated the only lawsuit he intends to pursue is the one against Impact. Yeah. So to sum up everything I just said, Joey Ryan was accused by by a dozen and a half women of sexual assault and harassment. This was backed up by various wrestlers within who knew him personally. In fact, I don't think anyone has come out in defense of Joey Ryan. And he proceeded to deny all allegations and then attempt to slap lawsuit the fuck out of his accusers.
Oh my God.
As well as Impact, because he claimed that they unfairly fired him for moral clauses.
Holy shit. Well.
And it's worse when you know the gimmick. But on its own, this is Joey Ryan. And so every fucking thing, he is on this show. He is a prominent person on Lucha Underground for the entire rest of the show's airing.
Oh my God.
We are just going to have to sit here and watch Joey Ryan.
No, could be worse. It could be Benoit.
It could be worse, indeed. Yeah, so I feel like I have to get that out of the way up front. I am uncomfortable with watching any of this. I will do it anyway. We're doing it anyway here. But it sucks. I freely admit to have been a fan of Joey Ryan.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. He's got a fun, he's got a fun persona, but Jesus H. Christ.
Yep. So anyway, Joey Ryan is here, and the captain is like, y'all need to secretly work together, but no one can know that you're working together to look into this. Hell, you can publicly hate each other for all I care. Their only mission is they need to bring down Dario Cueto.
Yeah, well, I feel like I should add, you guys can act like you hate each other for all I care, and Cortez Castro is just like, yeah, it fucking works for. I'm doing that anyway.
To try.
I don't have to pretend.
There.
I hate this guy.
Yeah, so they do.
So I guess we're doing Can They Coexist, but with buddy cops. Dear Lord.
So they did a cool shot while she's talking about this of Joey Ryan. He wears sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
And they reflect the cop photo, the evidence photo they have of Dario Cueto out of his through his sunglasses. I was like, that's neat.
So yeah, I guess we have undercover cops now.
But yeah, back to the fun story arc here. What the fuck? We got undercover cop shit happening now.
What the fuck?
The feds are on to Dario Cueto, and we are going to catch this guy.
Yeah, there are undercover cops. There's time traveling. There's the end of the world. Everything you could ever want is crammed all together into Lucha Underground, baby. Oh my god.
This is how we end episode 3 with this undercover cop angle.
Oh my god.
So we get to episode 4, where we open with Catrina in her office and Evilise storming in. I will make note, the entire time this scene happens, Catrina is sitting at her desk playing with a knife.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's got her tongue all over that thing, dude.
She licks the knife so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, basically Evilise is like, I want my title back, and Catrina's like, no, heart emoji.
All right, I wrote the quotes here. Fascinating dialogue happening here.
Oh yeah,
When Evilise storms in, Catrina says, "Well, if it isn't the baddest bitch in the building," to which Evilise goes, "Damn straight."
Yeah,
and she's like, "I want my title." She's like, "You fucked me, and I want my title." And she's like, "Little girl, you're lucky to even be walking. You should be thanking Mil Muertes for the mercy he showed you."
Classic.
And Evilise is like, you want to see some mercy? How about you let my team show that mercy to the disciples of death?
She calls them my boys, which is so wholesome.
Yeah, but Catrina's like, no, we don't have automatic rematches in my fucking
business. Oh my god,
this isn't the WWE. Fuck you.
Yeah, she turns to the camera and she's like, by the way, fuck Vince McMahon. We're gonna have to start a swear jar for every time they wink at the camera about like not being WWE, because it's the second fucking time. Because after Dario in season 1 is like, yeah, you can't cash in this Money in the Bank belt like at any time. You have to tell me ahead of time. I like to actually promote my championship match.
Yeah. So Catrina is like, your team has to prove their worth against another team that like really wants an opportunity. So how about that? And Evilise promises that one day she'll get her hands on Catrina, and on that day there won't be any mercy.
Oh man. There's so much sexual tension. It's so kinky. I'm so hype already for Evilise x Catrina. I need that to happen. Oh yeah, baby.
I honestly don't remember if they have a match or not.
What? But she keeps
they
looking
definitely
at
gotta.
She's like, I'm gonna have a match with you, and Catrina's always like, okay. I feel like that's like building up to inevitably there's a match.
They should, and maybe they do, but I just don't remember it off the top of my head that it definitely happens.
Yeah, she leaves the office, and Catrina like licks the knife a little more, and like she's looking. I don't know. She does like something with like lowering her head. I don't know. She's got this whole spooky. I will say, man, last season we made so many jokes about like the cinematographer thinking he was cool for like, I'll try spinning. That's a cool trick, but unironically, the cinematography has really stepped the fuck up this season. Like, they're doing some really interesting cinematic shots instead of just like mids and the occasional like dolly shot. You know what? Camera guy, you took notes. I'm proud of you. Good
Yay!
job. Thank you for listening to our podcast in the future.
Clearly. So we get into the ring. Vampiro.
This
and
is not
Stryker
church, but it is the temple, and it's at this point I realize.
Womp.
Oh God, me. This is me like trying to find some new dumb fuck joke to start every episode of Noobs and Knockouts. Oh no, I'm aping a Vampiro bit. Oh God. Oh God, what is happening to me?
You now realize that you are the Vampiro of this podcast.
No! Are you kidding me? No! Fuck! I can't! Oh no! I'm dying. I can't.
Well, all right. Guess I gotta go solo now.
No shit. Well, that hurt me on its spiritual level.
Mm-hmm. So our first match of the evening, the MAToB of Brutality versus the Crew.
Oh, also, sorry, one more thing I gotta point out from Vamp in like the intro to this episode. I noticed this during a commentary spot last episode too. Vamp has like all of a sudden gone from not wanting a damn thing to do with Penta to like sucking him off bigly on commentary, like just singing his praises, extolling his virtues.
Yeah, like, I wonder if there was like a I wonder if they changed course on that thought. Like
I don't know.
I don't know. I obviously would not know the backstage creative processes of Lucha Underground, but I'm wondering if they rethought the way they were going to play that off.
I don't know. I guess we'll see, because I definitely felt like the original angle was building to something. So we'll see what happens.
So Matt Stryker, while these guys are like coming out, he says this trio, referring to Ivelisse, Havoc, and Angelico.
Yes.
Says this trio that used to be dysfunctional, and I was like, Matt Stryker is justifying our made-up name change. He's justifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotta change with every season. Thank you. Unironically, thank you, Stryker. You're helping us out here.
Yeah. When the Crew comes out, which is Cisco, Cortez, and Chavo.
Sorry. One more before the Crew comes out. This is something I wrote this, and I'm like, oh, Austin's gonna be so proud of me, because Stryker talks a little bit about the MAToB of Brutality, and he's like, yeah, you got Ivelisse with like her like really standard, her really kind of like deeply steeped in martial arts fighting style. You have Angelico, who has like the most unique moveset in all of Lucha Libre, which X, but okay. Well, at that time he was pretty fucking like, he was pretty up there. And you have Son of Havoc, he's just the heart of this team. And at first I had to have a good laugh about like, he's like praising the fighting ability of the first two. He's like, in Son of Havoc, you try. But I realized, wait, shit, he's doing the like TV tropes Crew like assembly here. Ivelisse the leader, Angelico the Lancer, and Havoc the heart. They got their own fucking TV tropes ass like Crew roles and everything. So I referenced TV tropes.
Gonna go edit TV tropes right now to include that.
Yes, to include the MAToB Brutality, absolutely. But then yes, ooh, Chavo.
I wish he came out to his WWE theme.
Me too.
So Matt Stryker, while they're coming out, claims that Mr. Cisco is the most dangerous member of the Crew.
Okay,
because he has a street mentality to survive.
Okay, so fucking Cortez Castro was revealed to be this undercover Fed, right? So he's clearly gonna be like a much more prominent character going forward, and he's gonna have an identity outside of, oh yeah, he's part of the Crew. He's one of the three like indistinguishable members of the Crew. But commentary then proceeds to put over Cisco, not Cortez. I feel like it would have been like it's so obvious that like you would put over Cortez on commentary here that I thought he was referring to Cortez at first. Then I had to rewind and be like, wait, no, he said the guy on the right, not the guy on the left. Why is he fucking putting over Cisco? Cisco's not the important one. What the fuck?
Poor Cisco. He is not an undercover cop. He is an actual.
Yeah, well, I guess he's super fucking dangerous, so I guess he gets to be put over by commentary here. And they're talking about Chavo too. And like, you know, just what utter bastard men.
Honestly, Chavo is so limited in what he actually does in this match.
Dude, Chavo, yeah, I did notice that. Motherfucker, like, sits out. He
is barely there, and he's ostensibly, like, the leader of this group now.
Yeah, so, like, he's fucking useless, and which is great, because they're talking about Chavo, and Vampiro makes the point of, like, man, you know, Chavo's always, like, traveling with this group. What is it with Chavo? He's always got to have some kind of like entourage with him. Yeah, like he's basically like super unimpressed with the fact that like Chavo never works alone. He's like, yeah, I know like Guerrero lie, cheats, all that, yada yada. No, fuck you. He's basically like, Chavo, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and be a filthy, lying, cheating, stealing Guerrero yourself.
Yeah, asshole. How dare you?
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and be a proper Rudo, you dipshit.
Yeah. Fuck you. All right, I made a note. Like, it's nice getting to see Ivelisse wrestle in regular tag matches again.
Yep, yeah. Like, that's the same thing I said like last time of just like they're really letting her star shine after she effectively had to be sidelined as soon as they won the titles last season.
Yeah,
which is great.
I made a joke. Ivelisse showing off how good her leg is by kneeing Cortez Castro in the face.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. She's got to show off now. She's got a functioning knee. We have to play that shit.
Yeah. So they're talking on commentary about how Chavo is this opportunistic little fuck, and somewhere in there, Vampiro is ranting, and he's just like, "Follow the yellow brick road." I'm like, the fuck do you mean by that?
Yeah, I have
What do you mean? Why?
No clue.
Where are you going with that, man?
Oh man, Vamp, good old Vamp, man.
So Ivelisse, they kind of follow a pretty basic structure here. Like, Ivelisse gets some good shit in, but then she gets beat up on, and she gets the hot tag to Son of Havoc. Son of Havoc gets some stuff in, but then the crew start double teaming him, and then he does like a jump off the top rope and a tumble, and he hot tags in on Helico. And on Helico, it just starts kicking everybody.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's like, and a kick for you, and a kick for you. I got legs for days. Fucking come at me.
Honestly, because we have seen this so much in the last couple of episodes, I noted about how like they set up for the classic malfunction at the junction where like Cortez Castro had on Helico locked in his arms to set up for Cisco to hit him. And instead of just ducking out of the way, so Cisco hits Cortez, Angelico just gets his knee up and knees Cisco in the face.
That's funny. I didn't notice. I
was like,
that.
Hey,
yeah.
But then the Menage a Trois does a triple suicide dive. Angelico hits Cisco with I wrote a coup de grace drop because I don't have a better name for it. That's the name Finn Balor uses for that move. But it's basically where you jump off the top rope and you stomp somebody directly in the ribs.
Yeah.
And you use the power of shifting body weight to not actually crush somebody's ribs.
Yes, that is horrifying a little bit. You pointed that out.
There is a very small margin of error on that move.
Yeah, you don't want that to be a move.
Especially because like when Finn Balor does it, he rolls his body backwards. So it's almost like he's drop kicking you in the gut, in the ribs instead.
Oh yeah.
Angelico definitely lands straight on the ribs and rolls forward.
Dude, he's going straight down vertical. It's insane.
Yeah, his way of mitigating damage is to actually land, but then roll forward so your body weight quickly moves off.
He's a rolling boy. That's what he's got to do. He knows how to roll. He's gonna goddamn use.
Yeah, so on Heligo, they beat Cisco. This match was basically just like hey, the Menage a Trois are still good as a tag team.
Feel good match all the way through. MAToB, Menage a Trois of brutality, gets a pretty easy dub over Chavo and crew, especially because Chavo just kind of like gets dicked on early, that he just kind of like stops existing.
Yep, but Chavo is pissed about this, and he gets in the ring, and
he calls a team meeting as if this is anybody's fault but his.
Yeah, and I honestly thought they were about to break up this group immediately.
I know.
But no, don't worry. Tejano is here to ensure they stay together.
And there was much rejoicing. Yeah.
Tejano runs in and beats up the crew. They note how Chavo immediately bailed out of the ring and seemingly left the crew to die, but then Tejano just stared down Chavo and didn't beat up the crew.
Yeah, Tejano knows who he's here for, and it's that bastard Chavo, because that extremely fucking manufacturer. Well, I guess now he watched back the season 1 finale and is like, oh wait, he was playing both sides. That bastard. So at least it's an advancement finally. Stryker says I have to think Chavo's days have to be numbered, and man, I hope that. Actually, no. That's more for Tejano. I don't give a shit.
Chavo can stay.
Chavo's fine, actually. Yeah.
I made a note, bruh. Don't chew on the rope.
Did he do that?
Tejano put the bull rope in his mouth.
That's unsanitary. Do you know where that's been? That's been behind a bar counter, dude. That's disgusting. Get that out of your mouth.
Yeah, and then we cut to a vignette for Johnny Mundo in his hotel room doing a solo training montage.
I'm Johnny Mundo, and I've got some facts to share. For instance, did you know I do parkour?
Yeah, and he's like, for a fact, I'm the greatest star in Lucha Underground.
Yes, this motherfucker whines like a little baby man that he didn't get to main event Ultima Lucha. He was the opening match. Oh, boo fucking who!
I would like to point out he had opportunities to main event Ultima Lucha. He fought Prince Puma like 5 episodes before the finale.
Yeah, he failed miserably, and also he was still put in like arguably the second best position to be in on a card. You were the opening match, you little baby man.
And he felt disrespected. So
oh my god.
He believes he should be Lucha Underground champion, but he takes what he wants.
Johnny Mundo takes what Johnny Mundo wants, and Johnny Mundo wants to be the Lucha Underground champion. Johnny Mundo also wants a foot-long meatball sub with extra parm. Toasted, sir. Of course, toasted.
Yeah. All right. Again, meanwhile, while all this is happening, he is like chopping a dummy, and he's doing punching, boxing punching training with a guy, and he's just randomly flipping as a training thing.
He does parkour, Austin. We need to know this about him.
But then he's like, there's this big dumb idiot who thinks he's a machine.
He's a machine. Another like person taking.
We need another truther gimmick here.
Flavor text. Yeah. And it cuts back to him being like, Cage being like, I'm gonna beat you because I'm the machine. And Johnny going, yeah, the machine.
I know.
He just really fucking hates that catchphrase.
Yeah,
it makes him real mad for some reason.
Yeah, but then he's like, another fact, I'm not just a man, I'm the man. And he's like, if you think that you can beat me and stop me, just like all other machines, I will make you obsolete.
Yeah.
And then he ends it with fact. This is my world. And then he flips his shades on, and everyone else is just living in it.
It's my world, and some might say that it is his mundo.
Yeah. So Johnny Mundo with his corny vignette. I loved it. It was
and corny vignette. Don't you dare forget that he does parkour. He does parkour, and also he does parkour.
So backstage, Cortez Castro is sitting there pissy. And in comes Joey Ryan to talk some shit.
This fucking buddy cop angle, dude.
First, he's like, hey, nice job out there, Reyes. And he's like, hey, man, don't call me that here. He's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Cortez
Joey Ryan
Castro.
Joey Ryan
immediately failing the assignment of undercover cop.
Oh my god.
I don't even think he has a fake name here, actually. I think he is using his canon name. I'm pretty sure Joey Ryan is both his real name and his fake name. So
it's fucking like Black Klansman. Wait, you used your real name, you idiot. You don't do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have like a real name as a cop. I think he is just Joey Ryan both times.
That's really funny. He does not give a shit.
All right, so Joey Ryan sits down and completely unprompted says, I've always been a better cop than you. And you want to know why? Because I don't really get the job done.
Do you? You just casually risked blowing cover to make fun of your partner. You're a dumb man.
You're an idiot.
You're a very silly man.
And he's like, and our job is to convince everyone here we are legitimate luchadors. I do want to say, like, what is the threshold for legitimate luchador? Because like Cortez Castro has been wrestling in the temple for an entire year. Like, is he not a legitimate luchador at this point? Joey Ryan is the more suspicious person here.
Yeah, he's this motherfucker that just showed up. How? We don't know.
There's no reason to believe that Cortez Castro is an undercover cop, could be an undercover cop, because he has been here. He has been taking payments from Dario as a mercenary for a year. Everyone is going to assume he's on the up and up.
Yeah, I do love how like Cortez Castro probably pretty easily got in with Dario, who should be very paranoid about undercover cops, but just doesn't seem to care.
I wonder what credentials Cortez Castro gave Dario, presented to make Dario be like, you're definitely not a cop.
He sent in a self-tape of him just beating up some NPC luchadors, obviously.
Cortez Castro opened his shirt and was like, see, I'm not wearing a wire. You can tell I'm legit.
This is my audition to be a mercenary for Dario Quaid.
Yeah. So anyway, Joey Ryan is like, for Cortez is like, maybe I'd be more convincing as a legitimate luchador if I just kicked your ass right now. And Joey Ryan is like, hey, whoa, man. But if you want some tips about wrestling, you can watch me tonight. My match is up next. And I'll be making short work of my opponent.
Yeah, I wonder, like, what's the kayfabe on this? Like, is Joey Ryan
he just apparently showed up
luchador? Is he also a trained luchador though, as a cop? Like,
I don't think we're supposed to think he has any trained wrestling background.
Then how did he work at all well in the next match? What?
Well, actually, you know what? It's also like Matt Stryker knows who Joey Ryan is because he plays into like, check out this indie legend that is now here. So
I guess the kayfabe is just indie legend Joey Ryan is also an undercover cop.
He has always been an undercover cop. Apparently.
Yeah, he just moonlights as a wrestler and uses his real cop name to wrestle under. What the fuck?
That's not smart. All right.
Yeah. But he doesn't strike me as particularly intelligent. So
anyway, to get to the punchline of what he says with his little speech, he's like, I'll make short work of my opponent. He puts his sunglasses on. Just call it good old fashioned police work, which that feels very what a biting remark that like an undercover cop say like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
I'm gonna do police brutality.
I beat the shit out of a guy.
I'm gonna be corrupt and unethical. Joey,
to be fair, I feel like you're supposed to think Joey Ryan is a shitball cop, like just by his general attitude and demeanor.
He walks into rooms with suckers in his mouth. Only the biggest of douchebags do that.
So we get to the match. Then it is Joey Ryan comes out first, and oh boy, this match was not like Joey Ryan getting to Joey Ryan about everything. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Oh boy.
But for now, I'm going to paint a picture of this gimmick.
Yes, please do. Because it is a picture, to be sure.
I think that honestly, just describing his entrance probably covers a lot of the ground here. So he comes out, he's wearing this like athletic jacket and no pants and a lollipop in his mouth. He opens up, when he gets onto the ring, he opens up his shirt and he takes out a bottle of like baby oil and he spreads it all over his chest, his hairy ass chest. And then he pulls the front of his trunks open and pours baby oil on his dick.
Yeah. What? Yeah, he's just looping himself up before. I guess he's just like gonna go immediately have like post-match coitus somewhere.
Yeah, so
gotta be ready.
Let's cover this gimmick on the indies because I feel like the story of Joey Ryan is accused of sexual assault is not really complete without talking about what the indie gimmick is.
Oh no.
So the gimmick of Joey Ryan is he looks like a 70s porn star, or what you think that would look like.
Yes.
And his gimmick is he harasses women. He has intergender wrestling matches where he frequently makes the women wrestler touch his dick. And he comes he pushes himself onto them, and he has a move called the boobplex where he does, it's a German suplex, except instead of gripping them around the waist like you would for a German suplex, he grips them by their boobs and suplexes it.
Oh my god. And no one saw alarm bells or red flags surrounding this. Good old Joey. He came up with this really funny, crazy gimmick out of whole cloth.
Yep.
Love that Joey, who definitely isn't inclined to any of that IRL.
Who could have ever given Joey Ryan benefit of the doubt? Everyone must have seen how this gimmick is super sketch and does not reflect well on Joey Ryan as a person. Absolutely nobody could ever have tried to justify this gimmick as perfectly fine because it's a heel character, and surely everyone involved consented clearly to this character,
Well, see, that's the thing that's so lame about it, is because one of my things about like really hardcore heels is like assuming that they're, ethical workers, like imagining them backstage, like getting very clear consent for all the shit they're gonna do, like out in the ring. Like, hey, I'm gonna like say this awful shit and like, maybe like sexually harass you a little, and like, they play it as like, oh, I'm such a bastard, but like it's fun to imagine backstage them like being like very meticulous, like the kings and queens of consent. But no, Joey Ryan takes away from that experience. I don't get to imagine that because
I don't know for sure if it has ever been said that like any women felt pressured to play along with his gimmick and they didn't want to.
Would be surprised.
I don't think any public accusations have been made to that effect. But when you have been accused by 17 women of sexual assault and harassment, and your gimmick is I will sexually harass women.
Yeah.
It is hard to suspend my disbelief that that there is no IRL truth to the gimmick.
Yeah, when your whole gimmick is want breast and you literally like have a move where you get to touch your female opponent's tits, like that's gonna I'm getting a little sussy. I saw Joey Ryan vent a little bit. Yep, I'm gonna have to call a meeting on that one.
Yeah, no. I will say is that the other half of this gimmick, and this is good for when he plays babyface, because Joey Ryan runs into the problem a lot of heels run into of when they're really good and they are long tenured, the crowd just starts cheering you even if you're still being a jackass.
Yeah.
And so that also doesn't add, that's also not great to consider. But I will emphasize that like is forcing women to touch his cock is always that he never did that as a babyface. All right. That was a heel character that the fans just started cheering for anyway, because he is a good heel character that we know and like. But the other part of this gimmick that is famous is in 2015 or nears about that point, he went viral on social media for a match that he had in Japan in DDT, which is already the land of insane, weird, comical bullshit, occasionally sexual comedy. He has a match where a guy grabs his cock, Joey Ryan's cock, and Joey Ryan just powers through it and flips him with his dick. And so now part of his gimmick is that his penis is basically invincible. He can just suplex people with his dick.
That's why you do your daily dick squeezing exercises, kids, so you can suplex people with your massively strong cock. Oh boy.
So yeah, that clip of him suplexing a guy with his dick went viral. Always great to hear. Always great to see non-WWE wrestling clips go viral, and you see people be like, "Is this what WWE is now?
Is this what wrestling is? Is this what wrestling is like?" And you have to be like, "Wait, no, we promise it's not just dumb bullshit."
It is
like
not
this.
always like this.
It's not always
in fact rarely like this.
It's rarely like this. But you know what? Hot takers should be more like this. Give me more wrestling a blow up doll matches.
Yeah, so
give me more cock suplexes. Oh my god.
The cock suplexes were not in this match because he is facing Brian Cage. So a lot of Joey Ryan's dumb bullshit is left at the door in this match. But don't worry.
Yes.
The cock suplexes are coming.
They are? They're actually going to go there?
Well, they are Invincible Dick does show up. I actually don't remember if he does a dick suplex.
Oh my god. Well,
but this became part, but after that went viral, it became part of the regular act of Joey Ryan.
Real interesting.
Is the invincible penis.
He's like, "Oh, this got me over with the whole internet. Well, guess it's part of my gimmick now.
Guess that's what we're doing now.
Guess this is my life." Stryker says this guy looks like he can be my evil twin brother, and I'm not even that creepy. Stryker, what are you saying? I don't understand.
I can almost see the physical comparison, but not enough for me to make that joke.
It's vague at best.
But then Vampiro is like, yeah, you know, my uncle. I got some tapes from my uncle from the 70s.
And Stryker's like, I'm gonna stop. No. Stop! Don't get us. Don't make us lose our job, Vamp, by starting to talk about porn on commentary.
Yep.
Oh
so,
no.
Joey Ryan chants are huge here because again, the dude was an indie legend in Southern California. So obviously, this entire audience knows who Joey Ryan is,
and they're super stoked. And they're super stoked to see him here. You know.
Yeah. So he starts the match with the lollipop still in his mouth. We'll have plenty of lollipop shenanigans to come, but for this match, what happens is Brian Cage collar and elbow tie up him into the corner, and then Joey Ryan flicks the lollipop at Cage, so Cage gets like, huh, what? And Joey Ryan goes on the offense from there.
Also, it's worth noting that when Cage makes his entrance, like, Vamp for some reason is putting over that like Cage is super straight edge.
No, Stryker does that.
Sorry, I meant Stryker. Yeah, he's super straight edge. He's got no tattoos. He doesn't go to parties. He doesn't drink. As we watch this extremely roided out man walked into like this this mass of very unnaturally developed muscle just waddles his muscly, he waddles muscly to the ring, and Stryker's like, this guy has no vices whatsoever. CMK.
He is all about wrestling. He is all about wrestling.
Please ignore the fact that he's the least natty man on this entire program.
Right. So the match is on. The match, they are trying their best to make Joey Ryan look like a threat, while also playing into the joke that he is going to lose his first match just like Cortez Castro did.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also he's fighting Cage, so he's not going to win.
Yeah.
But they try to make him seem like a real threat here.
They do, mostly by having him like mouth off at Cage, which
he works the arm a lot. He works Cage's arm a lot.
Working the arm, and then whenever he like hits anything on Cage, he's like, "Come on, Cage, get up, you motherfucker!" Like he's going rabid to try to seem extra scary or whatever. And this makes Vamp say that he's never seen anyone stand up to Cage this much, and I'm like,
where were you the entire first season?
Like okay, I guess Puma, the silent man, did not mouth off to Cage nearly as much as Joey Ryan is, and like neither did Willie Mack, because Willie Mack isn't that kind of guy. But like that, aside from that, like he's been stood up to pretty solidly before. I don't know what you're on about, Vamp, but cool. And also Vamp is making a comment where he's taking some kind of exception to Joey Ryan's general physical presentation, and he's like, we got this guy with an oily, hairly chest, and Stryker replies with, "Hairly? Is that a word? Is that a word? It is now. Matt Stryker, arbiter of all vocabulary. Thank you, Matthew." Yeah. The man who is the best with words just comes up with new ones because he can.
Yeah, so the whole match is Joey Ryan is hitting moves. It feels like he's making progress here, cutting down the big redwood tree, as JR might say. But then Cage hits like one move, and Joey is dead.
Cage is like, all that for a drop of blood, flicks Joey Ryan, and Joey Ryan just fucking dies. No, it's sick. Cage does his kind of like top rope moonsault sort of thing, and it's so cool to see a man that large move that acrobatically.
He does. He hits it's very cool, very smooth.
Also, one thing I do need to point, I was praising cinematography earlier, but I've noticed like this season we're starting to get these like random shots that I think are like camera angles from behind commentary during matches, and just see the back of Stryker's head or like Vamp's head or something, and like the ring is super far out and super out of focus. Why are we cutting to this? That's the most useless shit. Is there like a utility security camera that is actually accidentally getting like included in the feed? Whatever.
Cage wins the match.
Cage of course wins.
Joey Ryan goes, he had Cage down by like kicking him in the face a lot, which is, I'll be honest, one of my favorite ways to see wrestlers try to beat giant wrestlers is, what if I just kick them in the face until they die?
That's sort of like constant striking, trying to batter down chip away at the mountain.
But Joey goes for like, Cage is on his knees, and Joey goes for one more super kick, but Cage picks him up for the power bomb, and then he hits the Steiner screwdriver, named such because the Steiners, specifically Scott, originated this move, where basically you pick a guy up for a suplex and then you shift positions and turn it into a pile driver mid-air.
That's super sick. And Cage is very good at executing convoluted moves like that. Again, see Weapon X, but we'll get to Weapon X
in a second. But he wins with the Steiner screwdriver, and after the match, I wrote a very conspicuous pink and black gear Johnny Mundo. Like you can see pink. You can see the pink jacket a lot.
Is he trying to do hearts all of a sudden?
He was kind of sneak. The lost heart dungeon. Remember Johnny Mundo, of course.
Yeah, obviously. I didn't realize he was part of the I am also a Bret Hart stan club.
Mm-hmm. So Johnny Mundo, he starts beating down on Cage. He yells at him, "Welcome to Slamtown, bitch!"
Oh
Which
my
I
god,
think
the
is the
cringe.
first. I think that's the first time he uses the phrase Slamtown. It's gonna become part of the gimmick, and so
Bro.
a historic moment of the first time he says
No.
Slamtown.
It's so cringe.
It's so part of his gimmick that like when Johnny Mundo competed on Survivor a couple of years ago, he like talked about Slamtown.
He was on Survivor?
Correct. He did it. He was on Survivor.
I mean, he does parkour. That practically qualifies you for Survivor.
He did about as well as you expect from someone who is very good at the physical challenges of Survivor, but is not necessarily good at the metagaming of Survivor.
His brain don't work too good.
He is good enough to not immediately get eliminated for being a useless sack of shit. But then once it's time to be like, all right, time to get rid of all the physically strong people who can win immunity challenges. Well, get out.
Yeah, this is why Johnny Mundo he's not known for his mic skills. Yeah,
there's the arc we have to do in the future of this podcast is watching Johnny Mundo on Survivor.
Yeah, no, fucking real man, who'd have thunk that the guy who like has a whole thing where he just like will change his name for whatever promotion he works for to be like some goofy joke about that promotion. Who'd have thunk that he's actually not that clever?
Johnny Survivor.
Please tell me he called himself Johnny Survivor.
He went by his real name.
No! Why?
He went by his real name and just talked about how his profession is being a pro wrestler.
I am Johnny Survivor, and I'm here to survive all of you.
That would have been great.
I wish.
Johnny back to the Lucha Underground. Johnny tries to set up an end of the world. Cage moves out of the way.
Yeah.
They do a little bit of like a back and forth reversal here, but it ends with Cage getting Johnny up in the Weapon X, which is basically, like in like Emperor's New Groove where they like do the back-to-back thing. Yes. It looks like that, except then Cage drops Johnny.
Okay, well, it's not just he drops him. He like does this whole fucking arm maneuver to get Johnny
turns it into a
side, and then like it's the most convoluted shit just so he can like make an X-Men reference. Yep. You fucking dweeb. Yeah, no, but I feel it's worth pointing out that Cage wrestled this whole ass match. Johnny surprise attacks him, and Johnny still managed to get dicked on with Cage's finisher. What a fucking job.
Yeah, we're gonna learn here. So far, this is a very one-sided feud, and I don't think it's getting any better from here.
Scoreboard.
Yeah. So Cage gets the mic and he talks over Johnny's prone body. And is like, hey, Johnny, if you can't hear, they're calling me Cage, referring to the crowd chanting it for him. That's because I'm not a man. I'm a machine.
And Johnny, even from down there, is going, I fucking hate that catchphrase.
Son of a bitch. And so Cage...
Son of a gum.
So Cage starts flexing over Johnny's dead body while Mills sits there and watches.
And Mill's like, I am both unamused and a little bit aroused.
All right, time for the last info dumpathon of the night.
Oh yeah, Ray is here to train Dragon Azteca and share lore, and he's all out of training.
Yeah, so we cut to a dojo with Rey Mysterio and El Dragon Azteca Jr. and they like do a bunch of like they just kind of spar, and Rey Mysterio has Dragon Azteca in like a leg lock, and he's like, you have revenge in your heart. Do you even know what you're preparing for? And now Dragon Azteca's like, war.
And he's like, oh, that was the secret password. You get to unlock from the leg
Ray's
lock.
Like, it's time for me to tell you about your father. So back he starts by giving his explanation why they're hand-to-hand combat fighting, but then he like sits him down and talks to him in like a meditation circle or whatever. But basically time for the Cueto family history.
Yes.
So basically 25 years ago, Dario Cueto's father came to Mexico and met El Dragon Azteca. And the two men formed a partnership with one goal: to bring together the descendants of the 7 Aztec tribes and let them fight again. But this time with honor. This time with luchadores.
God, they're such weeaboos.
But Dario's father became obsessed with the dark side of the legend. And he sought to appease the old gods. And some people say he even sacrificed his young son and let a god inhabit his body.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, and El Dragon Azteca, as if it's not obvious.
Correctly deduces that that's Matanza.
Yes.
Yeah. So Matanza is inhabited by an ancient Aztec god, and that's why he is OP as he
Eldritch horror, eldritch horror, eldritch horror, eldritch horror.
Yep. So despite the fact that it feels like this kind of thing would be an unamicable split, that is not the way Rey Mysterio implies that it was. He implies it's pretty amicable, but he's like, they parted ways with a treaty that neither man would encroach on each other's territory ever again. And they say that Cueto's father sealed the pact with dark magic. Whatever does that mean? Who knows?
And at this point, I think Dragon Azteca makes some other comment, because like
Dragon Azteca's like, oh yeah, that's the prophecy he was.
That's the prophecy.
About.
Yeah, Dragon Azteca keeps like exposition repeating to like turn to the audience and be like, "You got that?" And Rey effectively like catches this and is like, hey, shut the fuck up while I'm talking, please.
Hey.
He literally says like he says in Spanish like listen while I'm talking.
Like, listen, he's like, yeah.
He's basically like Dragon Jr. Shush.
Yeah, so Rey is like, Dragon Azteca knew what would happen when he came to the temple, so don't go looking for revenge.
And Dragon Azteca Jr. gets a look on his face of like, oh, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Don't worry, I'm still going for revenge. But he answers, so what am I looking for? And they go back to sparring at that point. Yeah. And then Rey is like, something that has been called impossible. And a way to unite the 7 tribes.
Yeah, so just confirming, this is going to be like the focal point of this season.
The extremely the very macro arc of this season and this show, to be honest, is
I was gonna say
the war, like the former war of the 7 tribes, and the goal of uniting those tribes to fight some greater evil that is on the horizon.
And man, I am really hyped for what the fuck that's gonna look like, because that sounds like it could be sick as hell.
But yeah, now we know the Cueto family history. We know that Dario Cueto, like, we understand what the treaty and the prophecy was all about last time. It was about like some dark magical bullshit of like, if you ever come onto each other's territory again, you will just die.
Yeah. So that's why Dario's like that. Honestly, that could explain why Dario was like getting all hyped up for Black Lotus to kill Dragon Azteca, and then as soon as he did, he's like, "You just started a war." Like, it's the dark magic, like, kind of influencing all of that. Like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense, actually.
Yeah,
good job, show. You made it make sense.
Matanza is a god in the body of a human.
Eldritch horror. A god in the body of a man named Jeff. What a dignified place for a god to reside.
That's the best. I mean, you know, when you're making sacrifices to the old Aztec gods, sometimes your infant son is the best play, is the best option.
Man, I feel like it'd be so funny to like offer up people for gods to possess that have like just the most normal sounding names. Like you got a dude named Bob who's possessed by like Cthulhu, and Cthulhu's like, I come in the form of Bob. Just beautiful.
So
but
we also now have confirmation then that like both of Cueto's parents suck. Dario's father, you know, making deals with ancient Aztec gods, not great.
Not awesome.
Dario's mother, I will go ahead and say they put this in the comic. Maybe the comic hadn't have come out yet. And I don't think it's too big of a spoiler to say it, but I will say that the Dario comic book confirms that like Dario's mother was very physically abusive to both Dario and Matanza.
Oh no.
So
that's unfortunate.
Dario and Matanza are products of a very bad home life.
Yeah, you got physical abuse on one hand, eldritch god sacrifice on the other, all around not a very stable environment to raise children in.
No. So yeah, that is this show's like lore has very quickly gotten a little bit complex.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, to be fair, it was built up, and now at least it's less confusing. I still don't know what the fuck Prince Puma has to do with like any of this, but I'm sure we'll get there.
You know, being a descendant of the Jaguar tribe.
Yeah,
maybe he's the last member of the tribe.
But like, why is he the one that's like Puma knows about this, but I'm not gonna have him get. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Puma's like connection to all this is. Maybe
Puma's having a very bad time processing the death of Conan.
Yeah,
I feel like they have not done a good enough job communicating that verbally. But
he doesn't communicate anything verbally. So
I mean from Stryker and Vampiro don't play it like that.
I feel like they play it a little bit. They played into that a little bit, like at the end of like last season, and at least we had the promo with Catrina in episode 3. So like it's getting played into a little bit, but I would like to see a little like more of that from him.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if that Kentucky boy could sound like he's from Los Angeles,
I know
we could have him do some promos.
He could like fake a West Coast accent. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So we get to the main event of episode 4, Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr.
Yes. Puma comes out, and like I gotta notice my man's like he upgraded his drip a little bit. Like not only does he have like the Puma head pelt, but he's got like a whole ass cape now and like some kind of like upper arm braces that he wears. It's all very fancy. It looks quite dignified. And as he's coming out in all this drip, Stryker says something about like the bloodline is truly rich. Puma be like, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. The tribal the tribal Puma.
He in ASL he signs acknowledge me.
I mean, we had a tribal chief in this episode.
We did. Who knows? Maybe that's Puma's great grandpappy or whatever.
Yeah. And then Pentagon is here.
Melissa, I notice, is very unenthusiastic about introducing Penta. This woman still has not forgotten that time he tried to break her arm. She's still salty about it.
She's still a little upset about that.
She will enthusiastically, full-throatedly announce the most vile, deeply evil, morally bankrupt heels on the roster. But then Penta comes out and she's like, and his opponent, fucking Pentagon Jr., whatever. This fucking guy.
So Penta and Puma, they have a pretty good back and forth match. You know, it's a lot of
they do.
They're trying to build this up as like, oh my god, the two of the biggest guys here are fighting each other for the first time. What an evenly matched match.
Yeah, which is like, it's fine. And they kind of point out like Pentagon really reaching that main event status, which, yeah, I guess fair. They do say it was kind of wild to me commentary kind of like lampshades the fact that Penta's arm break is actually not like a traditional arm break with just like popping the arm out of its socket, but that's effectively like breaking it.
It's basically breaking. You're basically breaking the arm.
Yeah, same difference, but it's wild to me they actually lampshade that fact. Also, there's this moment in the middle of the match, like, Penta's on the outside, and Puma, like, he runs up, he does kind of like a flip, he hits his back to the ring ropes upside down, and then he fucking like Spider-Man flips to the center of the ring. Yep. Doesn't actually do anything for his offense, but looks cool.
It's the greatest sign that this is fucking Ricochet under that mask, because that is a signature Ricochet move.
See, I feel like the biggest sign is those extremely distinctive tattoos the man
tats
has.
Help as well.
That he still like very much has as Ricochet.
It's like the tats, and then
the tats that are
the Spider-Man
one of the tats,
flip.
which is not remotely in Spanish, by the way. It just says "Be fearless." It's just English.
Mm-hmm.
But sure, he's a Spanish boy from Boyle Heights. That's how it is.
Yeah, totally. Vampiro is on Pentagon's jockstrap tonight. He is just like, Pentagon, focus the fuck up.
I know. He's like he can't help it. He sees his mentor or he sees his trainee fucking up, and he's like, no, that's not what I taught you.
He even says that directly. Is when Pentagon starts getting a little too taunty. He's like, look at him reverting back to his old ways. You know, when he was loser.
What is going on with the Vampiro Pentagon relationship? I need to know.
I can't say. I know the
answer, but I'm so confused because, like, for the first 2 episodes, he wanted fuck all to do with Penta. Now he's like, come on, you dipshit. That's not what I taught you. Get the fuck.
He fully is off the antipsychotics, and so so this is Vampiro.
Yeah, that's why
Ian's gone.
Episode 3 with like he opened episode 3 with "I'm out of my mind tonight." He's off the antipsychotics. Oh boy.
Yeah. So Vampiro is back. Ian's gone. So now it's full on. Let's go, Pentagon.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen anything backstage to talk about that, but like, sure. Also, Vamp is, I think he says this in reference to like Puma. They do talk a little bit about like, you know, Puma being affected by the death of Conan. And Vamp says something about, I think that kid's got too many voices in his head, which Vamp, meet Kettle. I will say though, something that was really cool about watching this match was like, maybe it's because his position isn't as precarious this time around because he's not like the world champ anymore, but like, Puma really feels to me like he's evolved in between seasons, more confident, more fierce, more dominant. Like all of his like matches as champ, like they all felt precarious. And I think part of that is the fact that he just had the championship and you're rooting for him to like keep it. But like,
yeah,
he was up, like a lot of his matches did kind of feel like he had to claw his way up from the bottom. Here it feels like he's on top, even though he's not like holding the belt. It feels like he is in control this entire time. Yeah, which is not a feeling you got during a lot of his title fights.
So what I'm hearing is that Conan is a piece of shit as a trainer, because look at how much better. Because look at how much better Pentagon is without his tutelage.
Puma, you mean? Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking yeah. Well, damn! It's almost like all of the promos really hinted at the fact that that Conan was actually kind of doing Puma dirty.
Which, by the way, we're gonna go back to this. We talked about how they seem to have dropped some angle about like how shitty Conan is with Puma.
Yeah,
but and they still did do that. I'm not like going to retroactively, forgive them over it, but I did like that Catrina did say like he was a shitty person. That like she was like, he needs to ask forgiveness from God for the kind of person he was when he was alive.
Yeah, he was a bastard. He is a bastard. IRL Conan's a bastard.
Mm-hmm. That was I did appreciate that element of it when we spent a lot of half of last season being like, God, why did they just drop that shit with Conan?
It was gonna be really interesting, and then no, he's actually a good guy now, and then he just dies. Walkity walk.
He would. Oh my God! I just realized that Conan had a redemption by death arc.
Oh no! Talking about fucking TV tropes.
He spent most of the season being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he died valiantly fighting back against the disciples of death to the point where even Conan's biggest critic on commentary was like, cheering for Conan.
The mouth going, I fucking hate Conan with every fiber of my being. He's like, woo, Conan, go!
Oh my God, I just realized this and it makes it worse.
No. The tropes.
Yeah. It's really a trope I don't like, generally speaking.
Fair.
But back to the match here. It is very much a like back and forth. These guys are completely evenly matched kind of a fight.
Yeah, as much as we were memeing about like, yeah, they're really poisoning these guys as like, equal, even though one of them's a former world champ and the other's like been pretty solidly mid card. He was a scary monster mid card, but he's still mid. Like no, but they do get to play like really equal. It makes for a good fight.
Yeah. So the match, we kind of end the match here. Pentagon hits a super kick, and then he leads it into his package pile driver, and then you'd think that he would just pin him right there. And honestly, good thing that Vampiro spent all of commentary being like, God damn it, Penta, just focus up.
Stop showboating, idiot.
Because otherwise this would feel like making Pentagon look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why would he bother to do this move that he never does? But
yeah,
if the story of the match is that he is a cocky shithead, being a cocky shithead, then that's more justifiable.
Yeah, and a shocking twist, Vampiro's commentary is actually really helpful to the story being told here. That's a new experience.
That's crazy. But basically Pentagon decides that he wants to go surfing. Going surfing. So he's surfing in the temple. So he gets Prince Puma into the surfboard lock. And Prince Puma rolls his body backwards, and he basically puts himself in a position where both men are pinned to the mat right now.
Yes.
And at the last second, Puma gets his shoulders up as
Puma gets his shoulders up
the pin
by like pushing himself up by his head.
Yeah.
I have never seen a spot like that before. I had to rewind this because I was so focused on Puma like hitting that near fall that I didn't realize that like Penta's shoulders were also down on the mat. Because like Penta thinks he's got the win, and then they announce Puma as the winner, and Penta's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And
what the hell do you mean by that?
Yeah, now hold on, just a second.
Because in rolling backwards, he also rolled Pentagon backwards and onto his shoulders in a roll-up pin.
Yes. Oh my god, I have never seen a finish like that before. That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, no, very fun double pin finish. I thought it was a straight up draw that they both pinned each other at the same time. I had to go back to see like, Puma at the last second got his shoulders up.
I thought like it was going to be they called it wrong and they're going to restart the match, but then they started announcing Puma as the winner. I was like, whoa, what? Yeah, that was super sick. So Puma like 5D chesses his way to victory here. By propelling his shoulders up with his own head. Yep. Holy shit, that's so metal.
And Pentagon is so fucking mad about this that he kicks Marty Elias, who is the referee, in the head. And then afterwards, though, he tries to go for Puma. Puma hits an Insiguri. And then Puma has Pentagon down, and he threatens to break Pentagon Jr.'s arm.
Yes!
It is such a crazy moment. Mil Muertes stands up out of his throne.
I know. I was like, that's insane.
Like, everyone is stunned by what they're watching. But instead,
that was so cool.
Puma decides that he will not be breaking Pentagon's arm today.
No.
Instead, he jaw jacks at Puma in the position. Commentary is like, I wonder what he said, but to me, it felt pretty obvious. Like what he would be saying is like, I want you to know that I could have broken your arm. The only reason that I am the reason your arm is not going to be broken right now.
Holy shit.
Like straight
that
up
was
just
a
mental
moment.
head games of like,
He's like,
I
I'm
could
too
have
much of a
broke your
good
arm.
guy.
I
had you going for a second. I'm such a stinker. Yeah, no, that was actually really sick. I was freaking out at that moment. I was like, holy shit.
Puma decides that he will leave Pentagon alone this time, and he leaves, and Vampiro looks so upset on commentary right now.
Oh, Vamp looks so fucking he's got big I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed energy directed directly at Pentagon.
Mm-hmm. But that is where the show in the ring ends off. Credits roll, post-credit scene hits, and we are in a creepy hall. We are in a B horror movie now, as we are in a creepy lit hallway, and running down the hallway from something is Sexy Star. She has returned to the temple.
I thought this was still like the fucking creepy ass winding basement of Marty Martinez and his sister.
We are supposed to be like back in the temple. The implication is that Sexy Star broke free and ran away and ran back to the temple.
Yeah, well, she was clearly hotly pursued, but like, so
hot
she's running.
But the idea is that she ran away.
Yes, she's running, and she bumps into Mac. Mac's back.
The Mac is here, and he's like, "Hey, whoa, what is going on?" He's like, "What happened to you? Who did this to you?" And Sexy goes, "Moth." And Willie's like, "The Moth? Oh, I'm gonna kill him." And she's like, "No, not him." And she points at the camera behind her and behind Willie Mac.
Yeah.
He's like, her. And Willie turns around and sees something. We don't see what he sees. And he's like, ugh! And that's
goofy ass final zoom.
It's very.
We get this like Windows Movie Maker zoom in.
Yeah, we're doing very corny horror movie vibes to this entire. They like got like the creepy cuts all over the place. You got like the point of the camera. You don't see the monster.
Robert Rodriguez never change.
Yep. So we will be meeting the Moth people again very soon.
Oh shit. They could. Damn, I was wondering. They could be like actual Moth people. That's horrifying.
Yep. But for now, that is the end of season 2, episode 3 and 4 of Lucha Underground. A fun stuff in the ring tonight. I'm not going to say there wasn't, but like my takeaway was all sorts of crazy lore drops.
What the fuck? Yeah. So we went from like all these implied little threads to undercover cops, the 7 tribes, Aerostar can time travel, child sacrifice. It's so fucking insane, dude.
They went.
It was off his meds.
They went from 20 to 100.
Seriously, tonight. And this is the Robert Rodriguez stylism that I like to talk about. Like everything is just at an 11, and it's chock full of like goofy effects that don't remotely like feel realistic, but like, man, they feel like someone's trying to tell you a story, and you kind of can't help but be charmed by that.
Yep. So,
we're so
glad
much
to be back in Lucha Underground as always, and so much shit now to continue on with.
Oh my god, so many threads. What's coming next? I don't know.
But that is for another time. Next time on the Noobs and Knockouts podcast, it is time for June to head to June 1998 on Monday Night Raw.
I did this to myself.
Is the night after King of the Ring 1998.
Ooh, King.
And
King Ring.
WWF has decided in the middle of our fake wrestling show, we are going to have a shoot fight tournament. If you think that's going to go poorly, congrats. You're right.
If you think that sounds confusing and unnecessary and like really damaging to like the entire point of wrestling as a storytelling medium, congratulations, you just described the entire career of Vincent Russo.
Yep. So next time we watch the first episode of the Brawl for All tournament.
Christ almighty. Oh boy, I can't wait. That's a lie. Yes, I can.
Yep. Until then, David, hit our plugs.
Yes, sir. All right, dear friends, thank you so much for once again joining us on yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. If you're a returning listener, viewer, or what have you, you know the drill. Thank you again so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. We just thank you for being here. You know we love you. Thanks. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here as well. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we are friendly both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit, we are so utterly happy that you decided to join us, and we hope you want to keep coming back to do so. And I will tell you all the different ways you can. You're obviously using one of them right now, but I'll clue you in on the others just to be nice. You never know. First of all, of course, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us that sweet comment, like, engagement, all that good stuff. Check out all of our playlists. Austin was kind enough to organize all of the storylines that we follow all into their own separate little playlists, so you can follow something all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. And of course, you can see our beautiful faces and our impressions of Cobra Moon's dumb fuck goofy tongue flicking. Yeah, and Austin doing the hands too. It's a whole thing. Don't you want to see? I know you do. Come on. Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. But of course, if you are a fan of the audio only experience, we have you covered there. You can find us on 3 of the best places to find your audio podcast, which of course are Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Come give us a listen. Download us. Give us some, maybe a nice little 5-star rating and a review that says, hey, these guys are pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just saying. Helps out this show tremendously. Helps spread word of mouth. Helps us out with the algorithm. All that good stuff. Just enjoy our content. And, maybe if you're so inclined, let other people know you're enjoying too. It's a good old time. Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, audio only, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. But of course, we exist just beyond the 4 walls of this realm. We also have a bit of a social media presence. You can find us, of course, on Twitter. We are at Noobs and Knox Pod on Twitter. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We post memes. We engage in discourse. We put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell's going on. Of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting. I've been at the helm of that recently. Marks that we are every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on TBS. We are watching AEW Dynamite and tweeting all about that good stuff. You're, at least what I can, I'm these days trying to fucking do homework while I'm doing it. It's a whole thing, but we'll tweet out at least a little bit. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Austin. You never know. And of course, sometimes on Fridays, if I have the time and I'm feeling spicy, we will also live tweet at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT. What else? AEW Rampage. It is the show that y'all been waiting on. And sometimes you're waiting on me to tweet about it too. And sometimes and sometimes I do. But past that, past my kind of like taking up duties on the Twitter, Austin, of course, is our most diligent follower of all the major companies, all their big pay-per-views, and sometimes he'll even tweet about them. So, my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Yeah, I just hate watching weekly wrestling live as it airs, so I can't do a lot of the live tweeting stuff. But
yeah, I
know. But on the upcoming here, we have AEW Revolution on March 5th.
Oh, live, it's so close. It's
live
so close.
Live on pay-per-view.
That's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm so excited, man. I have a whole ass bottle of mead that I've been saving specifically for Revolution. I'm gonna get through that entire thing in one night. I want Revolution to be the pay-per-view that every year I get belligerently drunk for and just have the best night of my life. It'll be a great time.
Delightful. So we have the 60-minute Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson.
Hell yeah, brother.
We have a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Ass Boys, the Guns, the champs, versus the Acclaimed, versus Ain't He Fucking Great, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, versus a tag team battle royal winner yet to be determined.
Yes.
We will have Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match.
Oh, yeah.
Samoa Joe versus Wardlow, the big meaty boys for the TNT title.
Wardlow. Oh, boy.
Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks for the last time. Please,
God.
For the last
time. They literally lampshaded it on Dynamite that everyone's fucking sick of this. Please, God.
In a one-on-one match where Chris Jericho was bamboozled by Ricky Starks into agreeing that the Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside.
He clicked the pen. He clicked the fucking pen.
You just made the list. Honestly, that era of Jericho, Kevin Owens, Jerichoans, or whatever should be examined on this podcast.
Definitely.
Jamie Hayter versus Soraya and Ruby Soho in a 3-way match for the women's championship.
Yeah, not what I was expecting it to be, but I'm here for it.
And then in a 6-man tag for the Trios Championship, we got the Elite, the Elite versus the House of Black.
Oh, the House always wins, except maybe they won't. Who knows?
Shut up! They're gonna win. They're gonna be the Trios champions.
It would be sick. I would really like to see them as Trios champs. That would be sick as fuck.
Now for Impact Wrestling, upcoming for them on March 24th is their next newest Impact Plus special. That's their streaming service. They only have 4 regular pay-per-views a year, so they have a bunch of. They kind of fill in the rest of the calendar with Impact Plus exclusive shows. And on March 24th will be Sacrifice.
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 That spells disaster for you as sacrifice.
Yep. Now they just finished No Surrender, so we don't have any matches for Sacrifice yet, but it's a coming.
It's a coming. The numbers don't lie.
For WWE, it's on April 1st and April 2nd.
You already know.
WrestleMania 39.
Oh dear. Oh wow.
WrestleMania is going Hollywood.
The chosen son versus the prodigal son, baby.
In our main event, it is Roman Reigns, the Woo champion.
The Woo champion finally.
Versus Cody Rhodes.
Finally bringing his reign to an end when he puts over Cody Rhodes. Thank fucking God. It's awful that it's not Sammy, but.
Well, David, I do got to ask you, though, is like, if Roman beats were to win, he could reach 1,000 days as champ. So,
are you?
I want you to consider what and maybe it would be nice if Cody had some sort of narrative shortcomings. I mean, he's pretty much just shown up in WWE and just won everything since he came back. So, I mean, what if the tribal chief was champion for another fucking year?
No.
And they take it off him at WrestleMania 40.
Look, it's already lame enough that they're just handing this to Cody because he like betrayed AEW for 30 pieces of silver in an Uwu championship, but like and not giving it to Sami Zayn. But also like at least the Roman Reigns era will finally blessedly be fucking over. Don't you do this to me. It has to be Cody. Do you know who his dad is, Austin? I mean, I don't. He never talks about it, but do you know?
He doesn't bring it up ever. You know, he's very modest
about it.
But
I feel like it's important.
In other stories, we have Charlotte. In other matches, we have for the SmackDown Women's Championship, we have Charlotte Flair taking on Mommy Rhea Ripley. Dom had a whole fucking promo with Charlotte on SmackDown, and it was glorious.
Oh yeah, baby. I want Dom. I wanted to get to the point that Dom's showing up to ringside to be in Rhea's corner in just a full gimp suit. Yeah. I need it.
Also, they're hinting at they're gonna do Dom versus Ray at Mania.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very possibly. And then the only other match also already confirmed: Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. No, it's funny because all three of those matches feel like, yeah, the champion is definitely losing the belt. Like WrestleMania is feeling like a show where a lot of champions are about to change hands.
You know what? That's fucking exciting. That's exciting shit. I hope. One can only hope. I quite hope.
Oh my god, as well. But yeah, that is what is coming up. That is available on Peacock. That is not. That's where you get all their premium live events. The plus.
Damn, I might have to check out at least some of WrestleMania this year now that I have access to Peacock.
Oh, also WrestleMania weekend. You know what that means? A load of indie shows.
Yes, Effie's Big Gay Brunch. We get more gay wrestling, it just makes my heart sing.
The Impact Multiverses of Madness show.
They would.
Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Bloodsport, Joey Janela's Spring Break.
Yes.
The classics are all here. And I will be watching at least some of that.
I definitely want to check out Big Gay Brunch. I love me some Effie. Love it so much.
Yep. So that is what is upcoming in the wrestling world.
Yes, and please, folks, check out the old tweeter. If you like listening to us ramble about wrestling for whatever fucking ungodly reason, whatever worm has crawled into your brain, to make you enjoy us. It's a similar experience over on Twitter. I think our voices carry over pretty well. So please won't you join us at Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. Of course, if you want to get in super direct contact with us, you can do so at our email address, because we also have an email address, and it's super neat. It is Noobs and Knockouts Pod, or Noobs and Knockouts Pod at gmail.com. That's Noobs, the word, and Knockouts Pod at gmail.com. Come say hi to us. Tell us what you think about the show. Request things you want to see us cover on the show. Tell us how based and red pill our hot takes are, how fucking dumb you think we are. Either way, start discourse with us. Talk to us, meme with us, say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and Knockouts Pod at gmail.com. And of course, finally, a big boon for us over here at Noobs and Knockouts. We are also on Patreon. We're also the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on Patreon. You can find the link for that in our Twitter. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Austin and I have been kind of starting to discuss the possibility of like adding other shit to more tiers, more incentives, more rewards. It helps out the show a little bit. And hey, by the way, speaking of shout outs, shout out to, of course, friend of the show, who else? The sugar daddy, Kyle Smith, for his very generous contribution. We love you, buddy. Thank you so much for helping us out. If you want to join Kyle and enjoy some perks along with him, of course, you can do so. Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. Once again, the link for that is in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.